We are live. Hello and welcome to Cricket Adda Presents Cricket Addicts Season 2, Episode 5. And as Nikhil every year says, it's lights, camera, auction, not action. It's auction time again. Mini auction this time, but still nonetheless an auction with some big players. We have our three panelists who have worked with multiple teams. We can't name the teams, but they are here. And the purse with each team is a little more than Nikhil's net worth. So KKR has 64.3 CR. Nikhil's net worth, you can take an idea from that. But talking about the panelists here, Kevin is back. Last week he was with us as well. Ninad is back after a long time in the Mumbai Indians jersey, who will spend more money on the flights and hotel bookings than in the auction. Ninad, your thoughts on that, first of all?
Yeah, we're just coming to the auction for a formality, and I guess MI is going to do what they do best: find some hidden gems who are uncapped players and then make them stars. So let's see.
Yeah, that's what MI strategy seems to be, backing uncapped gems at this point of time in this auction because they have only 2.75 CR. We'll come to the purses of each team. But Nikhil is back after a while, and not only that, he is back from a place where it's minus 6 degrees Celsius. That's why he is freezing cold there. But it's gonna be freezing, not freezing, but hot in the auction with some really, really tough top buys, isn't it, Nikhil?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Big names, right? And good opportunity for players to get a lot of dough. So, yeah, exciting. Good to be back after a long time. I saw some of the last week's podcast as well. And yeah, so yeah, excited. New season of the IPL starts with the auction. Is it too bad to say that the auction is the best part of the IPL? Maybe, maybe it is.
Kevin,
Maybe
Kevin,
it's
Kevin is
our
actually,
auction that we do. That is the best part.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, we do have fantasy auctions before the IPL, so unfortunately we don't stream those, but hopefully if we get time this year, we'll stream that as well. Kevin, three people have joined us by the way on the stream as well. So if you have any questions about any team, any player, any purse, any amount of money you want to ask, put it in the comments. Anything you want to talk about all the teams, put it in the comments and we will try and answer that. Kevin, let's start off with straight up to the point. 237.55 crore remain in the auction to fill 77 slots. Obviously, the talk of the town is Kolkata Knight Riders. Your thoughts on what they have done? 64.3 CR, just a little more than Nikhil's net worth, as I said, but that's a lot more than they had in a mega auction last year. They had around 51 crores in the mega auction. This time it's 64.3, releasing Venkatesh Iyer, which was obvious, but Andre Russell, which freed up 18 crore. They have a lot of slots to fill, isn't it, Kevin?
Yes, and it's a big purse, but there are very few players in the market currently, and I'm a little curious to see how they're going to go about building this side because you invested in Andre Russell, and you paid a big amount for him, and now one after one season he's quit and moved away from the game. So he's created this big void which they're going to try to fill with Cameron Green, but I don't know how's that going to work out. And they could have held on to Venkatesh Iyer, I felt, because you need that Indian batsman. But are you trying to bring him back because Venki Mysore had strong principles where he said we don't do that. We release players and then trying to get them cheap. So I'm a little curious to see how they're going to go about it because I remember back in the past, Punjab Kings in 2021 they came into the auction with 51 crores and
Hmm.
they finished the auction with 21 crores still left and there were multiple players whom they chased like Chris Morris, Moeen Ali, and I think even they were chasing Kyle Jamieson, and they still didn't outbid the other teams for them. So how do they find the right balance as to how much they want to push for? Because we didn't see it coming, but CSK has ensured that they have a close enough purse with them. So they're definitely going to bully them for some of the players. So I'm excited to see who they're targeting because it's unfortunate, but KKR has come back to the 2022 phase where they have a few players retained, but they're still lacking that keeper batsman that caused them problem in 2022, 2023 as well. and now again it's going to cause them problem in 2026. So who's the guy? Wish they had held on to Quentin de Kock because he was only there for a 4 crore contract. It was 3.6 to
3.6,
be
yeah,
exact. Yes,
3.6,
but
yeah.
for 4 crores, you could have held on to him. He has international experience. He has experience playing in the IPL as well, and his record against India is terrific. So they could have held on to him, but now they've let him go. I hope they go and get him back. But besides him, I don't see them getting. Who's the other keeper? Maybe Johnny Besto. He's on the later stages of his career. So it's a very you have a lot of money, but you don't know what to do with that money, and that's what's going to happen with KKR because they're not even named their captain. I think they go back to Ajinkya Rane. But if you go
Rani
back to
goes
Ajinkya
there.
Rane, where are you going to bat him? Your entire lineup. Last year we saw the entire batting lineup was a mess. So they kept you would like as an analyst you'd want to sit there and say, hey, what do we do best to help KKR get the best team there? And you would say, let's get Matisha Pathirana, let's get Andre Russell back, let's get Venkatesh Iyer back, and we have 60 crores and we could manage that. But I would like to see, getting those 3 players back. It'll be interesting to see, but does it cover up all their flaws in the side? I'm not sure. The good thing is that they are 16 overs covered in Narayan. They have Vaibhav Arora, they have Harshit Rana, and they have
And
Varun
CV Bharat,
Chakravarti.
yeah.
Yes, so you have 16 overs covered. They just need an overseas pacer. And I was also thinking maybe they could hold on to Andrik Nokke, but they've let him go as well. So I'm not able to understand what the thought process is, but I think they just wanted a bigger post to see whom they could try to get. So let's see. It's going to be interesting. I'm more excited about what the other teams, especially CSK, do, because they and SRH can be very unpredictable in this auction.
Yeah, before we go to CSK and SRH, Kevin said that as an analyst, you would like to see what the best you can do for a team. So let's go there. I will share my screen. We can see the score of each team and we will analyze. Ninad, Nikhil, if you can chime in here for Kolkata Knight Riders. A lot of questions, as Kevin said. So first of all, this is what I have put forward as a tentative batting lineup. We have absolutely no idea at this point of time whether Sunil Narayan is going to open, whether Ajinkya Rahane is the captain. But from what the options they have in the current squad, I think that's the only option they see with Rahane as the captain. So first question, as Kevin asked, who's the keeper? From what I'm hearing, Angakrish Raghuvanshi is practicing wicket keeping. So is that an option, or do they go back to say a Quinton de Kock, Johnny Bairstow, Ben Duckett, Jamie Smith? But if they pick all these, one of these, then that guy has to open. Then again, Rahane goes down to 3. Raghuvanshi bats at 4. Ninad doesn't like that. Nobody likes that because Raghuvanshi is a phenomenal talent. He should bat at 3, if not open. Ninad, your thoughts on this batting order? Because Rinku again goes then down. He doesn't get enough balls. The batting order again becomes a mess, like Kevin mentioned. Last year as well, it became a mess.
Yeah, it's fair that Raghuvanshi and Rinku Singh should get more game time. Looking, like you said, looking at the phenomenal talent they have, it would be doing injustice to them that they get to bat, let's say, at 4 or anywhere below 4 for that matter. So one thing they could do is they have the purse to go for all these the third set, which has the wicket keepers. You've got Finn Allen from New Zealand. He's a hard hitting player, and I think the likes of the Kolkata pitch might aid him if it turns out to be how it is traditionally. He hasn't played any IPL games, but he shows a lot of promise, and you can then just slot down Sunil Narayan back to the floater role that he usually does. You don't have to necessarily open with him. Yeah, it's agreed that it has worked in the past, but you can always have Narayan again at 8 or something and then have a proper opener who gives you a proper keeping option. And in case KKR miss all of these, they've got better options as well on the top. They can maybe go back to Quinton de Kock. He's showing good promise in the current series as well. It looks like he's getting back his form. There is Gurbaz as well. They could probably go with him. There are the likes of Ben Duckett, Jamie Smith. Again, if they fail to get all of these players, then it's a little difficult because the next set of wicket keepers, you don't have that many established players. Though Karthik Sharma has been doing well in the domestic, you've seen him. He has the ability to tong the ball, so maybe he could slot in have the finishing duties alongside Rinku, if that works. So that's probably how they could structure their wicket keeping options. As well as the bowling over here, it lacks good experienced bowlers. We saw that, I mean, here Harshit Rana is the most experienced pacer over here. So you know that their bowling lineup is a little weak. Although he has done well for KKR, he hasn't been really able to fire or make an impact in the Indian team. So maybe they could look for overseas pacers like we've listed over here. You've got Patirana, who's back in the auction, who's also fairly new, but he's had an impact in the IPL and internationally. Matt Henry is another excellent bowler. He's criminally underrated, I would say. Uh, so you could probably have him bowl in the power play, pair him up with Vaibhav Arora. So there are a lot of options for KKR, and they've got the purse as well to go and to back up those options.
Yeah, agreed with Ninad there. A very, very thorough analysis about what KKR can do. They can slot in a keeper at the top, or maybe a Karthik Sharma at the bottom as well, who is the talk of the town in the uncapped gems list. We'll get to that as well. Nikhil, just quickly, if you want to add here, as Kevin mentioned, they have 16 overs. You have Narayan Rana, Chakravarti, and Vaibhav Arora, and overseas pacer is missing. And as Ninad mentioned, probably some experience in the Indian pace bowling as well. Rana and Arora are fairly young, but in the options available in the market, I don't think anybody has that experience like the names I've mentioned here: Shivam Mavi, Hangargekar, Akash Madwal, Simarjit Singh, Ashok Sharma. All these as well don't have that experience. But amongst overseas pacers, do you think they can go back to Norkia? Because Kevin was talking about they shouldn't have released him, but he was at 6.5 cr if I'm not wrong. If they can get him cheap, probably, and or they can go back to a Patirana, not go back, but get a Patirana, Henry, a Jacob Duffy, or a Lungi Ngidi, or a Gerald Coetzee as well. There are a lot of options in the overseas for fast bowling department.
Yeah, I think they'll want to get a power play bowler. So they've got Vaibhav Arora who bowls with the new ball. Harshit Rana, he bowls all phases, kind of. Um, so they'll want to get like an overseas opening bowler, and Matt Henry fits the bill, as Nina said. Very very underrated. I agree completely. I had him in one of the auctions, maybe World Cup, Champions Trophy, one of them. Um, so very very underrated. And Indian fast bowlers, there's not a lot of names. So if you
Yeah,
go through the option list, there's not a lot of good big names, and there's going to be a lot of uncapped Indian fast bowlers and a lot of competition for few of the good ones. Yeah, Akash Deep is there, and Shivam Mavi is there. Shivam Mavi gets picked, I feel like every year for the IPL, but he's never really done it.
yeah,
He played for India, didn't he? I think.
yeah. He
Uh,
had played a couple
he
of games.
finished a game, didn't he, with the
Yeah,
bat?
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, there's not a lot of names, and they've got two of the better ones, right? Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora. So they'll
yeah.
want to back both of them. But the openers, I'm interested to see which one they go for. There's a few of them, good ones. I'm very excited about Jamie Smith coming to the IPL. It's a little disappointing. I mean, I'm sure you guys must have watched Ashwin's auction video, and he didn't get a big bid in that.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
wonder if he had done something in the first two test matches of the Ashes, whether the whole perception changes, because we know what JB Smith can do. He opens the batting for England in one day cricket, I think. I don't think he's played a lot of T20 cricket, but I think he's there to explore. Very maybe it's a little bit lazy to compare him to Phil Salt, but very similar, right? Opening batsman
yeah.
from England who keeps right-handed. Um, and I think he'll be a perfect opening partner for Rahane as well. So he can just tee off ball one and Rahane can play his game. I mean, to be fair, that's very unfair on Rahane because he's been doing very similarly, right?
Correct.
Um, he's improved his strike rate immensely. So, and there's not many captains either in the auction list. So they might look at it and say, yeah, Rahane is just a He's our guy. He's the most experienced out of everyone. And yeah, we just back him to lead this young group. And especially with Abhishek Nair, like him and Rahane, they can get, both from Mumbai. Maybe they've got something going there, both of them. And then they'll have to get middle order batters, and then that's where their purse will come in handy, right? All the Livingstons, Cameron Greens, all of them, they'll be high in demand, and they can outbid almost everyone other than CSK. So they're in a good place. And yeah, I do wonder whether they go back for Venki Iyer, just because he's part of KKR, right? He's got the familiarity and
Yeah,
um, what's his name? The CEO,
Venki Mysore.
Venki Mysore talked a lot about him, right? The last year, and now all of that 1 year it's just gone. They just dropped him. So I don't think the relationship is gone there. I'm sure they'll be looking to get him at a better price and to fit him somewhere in the middle order, maybe at four, and then kind of fit the rest of the team around them. But they've got a good, they got a good few core players, and then kind of fill in the extra spots around them, and yeah, they're good to go, I think.
Yeah, Kevin, so let's get to the main point now. How much do they spend on Cameron Green? Because it's almost certain that the competition or the bidding war will be between KKR and CSK. Will go to CSK after this, but how much realistically KKR can go for Cameron Green, or they can just go all out? Because he's in set one, his price will dictate how what other players they can get at what price. So it's really important that they get that price correct.
Can I just say one thing about Cameron Green before Kevin says
Yeah.
anything? I don't get the Cameron Green hype, honestly. Like we are not in the all-rounders era of IPL now.
Mhm.
We've got the impact subs. There is no point of Cameron Green bowling any overs, I think. Like even if he doesn't, I would be surprised if they don't use him that much for bowling. I don't really think he's that proven an IPL player. Like I remember the 100 he scored against SRH for
Yeah.
Mumbai. Nina might remember that. Um, so he's had a few good knocks, but I don't really get the hype around Cameron Green. Maybe Kevin can let me know what all the big hype is. But we've moved away from the all-rounder phase, right? I mean, back in the day, all-rounders used to get all the money because they were giving overs, and they had that special a value to them. But now there's no point of that. Everyone goes to go comes up with the bowling innings with six bowlers. So
Yeah.
what's the point of Cameron Green then?
The problem in this auction that has happened is that there are not many big players in the market. If you look at the list and we identify who are the top players who we want to see being bought, I think you'll say Cam Green is one. You say Pathiran is two, and then I think maybe who you're looking at three, four, five. Maybe Venkatesh Iyer is an Indian player, so you'll say three. Bishnoi is four for sure. And who's the fifth player you're looking who you want to see get sold? So there are not many players, and we're going back to 2020. I think it was 2023 auction. Yes, 2023 auction where you had Cam Green, Sam Curran, you had Nicholas Pooran, and you had
Ben
Ben
Stokes
Stokes.
Cooper.
So you
Yeah.
had these four players whom you're like, hey, these are the guys who are there. We don't see any other good players. And because there is money in the market, now what happens is you want to ensure. Now, let's say Cam Green comes. I think he's around 15 crores. Definitely, he's around 15 to 18 crores. That's his worth. But now, if me as KKR, if I allow CSK to take him for 15, 16, then when I try to go for Matisha Pathiran, they still have enough money to bully me. Or if I try to go for Venkatesh Iyer, they still have enough money to bully me. And that's what has happened with the auction. That there's so much money in the market now that you're not paying for what the value of the player is. You're actually playing
Hmm.
to reduce the purse of another team so that you get the right squad. And that's my biggest issue with the auction has always been that the players who you buy in the mega auction at low prices You retain them for 3 years and you never release them because they're at lower salary contracts. And I just want them to change that rule saying, hey, if a player is bought at a base price or if he's bought around 2 crores, you want to retain him, can we increase it by, from 2 crores to 3 crores or 4 crores? So that the players who are earning less, they at least make their money rather than the players who are at higher contracts. Like Venkatesh Iyer is released because he was at a 23 crore contract. He comes back into the market and now he could possibly get even 18 crores. Is he worth 18 crores? I don't think he's worth 18 crores. He may be worth 9 or 10 crores. But now, because the dynamics is such, we're still talking of, hey, he's the only Indian player in the market. So let's, why not we invest? And this is where, now the game has to be played. And everyone is looking at CSK saying, hey, we also need to buy up players. Could you reduce the auction price of KKR when you bid for Cam Green? And this is what Delhi did in the mega auction when it came to not Venkatesh Iyer, when it came to Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer. They ensured that they pushed Punjab and LSG to that 20 plus crore mark. Else, I don't see that those bids going about 21. So this is what, it's like it's very tactical, don't get me wrong there. And but it's unfortunate for the guys who are coming at low salary contracts saying, hey, we're going to be playing for that for 3 years with, but the IPL allows the players if they want to get released, they can. Like for example, Brevis, he could have come into the auction. He would have been a star player in this market, but he chose to stay back for I think 2.8 crores or something. So,
2.2.
oh, 2.2 crores. So it's like tricky. But coming back to, yeah, you're saying something, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I agree. Yeah, the supply is not there, right? And the demand is big.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, so some players will get overinflated. I just think Cam Green is very overrated in T20 cricket, and I think there's so many better players that should or whose value should be higher than Cam Green. I'm very excited about Jamie Smith. I mean, imagine how much what the ceiling for Jamie Smith is. Like if Jamie Smith has a good season, that's like an unbelievable 150, 160, 170 strike rate season. You know, 500, 600 runs. Who knows, right? Whoever buys him. Same thing with Patirana. Patirana has an unbelievable ceiling, I think. And then you look at Cam Green, he'll come in to bat at 5, 6, and is he really a finisher? Like when you're batting first, you've got like 4 overs left, and you're like 2 down, 3 down. Do you want to send Cam Green, or suppose if KKR buy him, you've got Rinku Singh and Cam Green. You want Rinku Singh to come in ahead of Cam Green. So it's like, well, what's the point of Cam Green? So I'm not. I just think he's very overrated. I think there is a lot of better buys, better value players, and yeah, the lot of good players. I mean, the thing is, in the IPL, a lot of players have to decide whether they're coming there for the money or which a lot of overseas players come for that. Like, let's be honest, or some players like Brevis could have, like you said, chose to stay in the auction and he would have gotten an unbelievable amount of money. But he decided to stay with CSK, right? And I think there is that other um topic, which is like you want to stay with the team, build your career, build your skills, and build your kind of legacy with the franchise. Which I don't think a lot of people understand, that the special thing on the IPL is that you get to stay with the team. If you get to stay with the team, you get to build this legacy, this story of yours. So many players have done it, right, in the past, overseas players as well. But then there's players like Cam Green who are in and out, Ben Stokes previously in and out, and yeah, it seems like they don't care about the legacy that they can create, and they're here for a paycheck.
Yeah, my counter argument to that is that because we have mega auctions every 3 years, you can't plan, you can't build for. You're going to see Rajasthan Royals
Yeah.
in 2027, completely destruct because you can't fuel so many players' ambitions. And my the only thing with going for Cam Green and why if KKR feel and this is where it's all due to the success that Andre Russell has had. If they want a player like whom they could replace Andre Russell and that you can say fandom around him.
Mm.
Then it makes sense for them to go for Cam Green, because I've not seen any links between Cam Green and KKR. It might just be that they will just what you can say surprises and just go for the other players in Patirana.
Yeah.
You never know this, because say like in 2025 last year, although everyone was saying that Punjab would go for Pant, but they didn't bid a single bid for him as well. They
Yeah,
just wanted Iyer was their number one priority, and they attacked him and
yeah.
they got him. So
The
if
captain point, right?
exactly. So
Yeah.
if KKR are thinking that we don't want Cam Green for this year or next year, we're looking at him as a franchise player for the next 10 years, because in 2027, who do you see as KKR's retentions? There's definitely going to be Rinku Singh. I don't see Narayan playing after that. So there would be Rinku Singh, you're going to see Harshit Rana, maybe you'll see maybe
Chakravarti.
Varun. Yes, and then you
Yeah.
have Cam Green. So if you're looking at him from that perspective, then it makes sense. And the fifth player would definitely be Angresh Raghuvanshi. I hope he'll be uncapped by then. We never know. Because yeah, you never know about that. But these are the players that they're looking at. So uh, for
Yeah,
me, it's
eventually they'll have to figure out their captaincy situation, right? Like for the next few years after what they do after Rahane. Right now, I don't think there is an option in the auction,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I may
eventually,
not be surprised if they get Venkatesh Iyer back. I feel that they'll make him the captain, because if you look at
mm,
the top 12, I see the Sunil Narayan, Ajinkya Rahane. I think they'll go for a keeper who can bat at the top. Then
hmm,
mm,
you have him over there. You have Angresh at three. If you get Venkatesh Iyer back, he's at four. You have Rinku at five. Six, you'll have, let's say, I'm assuming they'll go for Cam Green. If not, you'll have Robman Powell over there. Seven, you have Ramandeep. Eight, you'll get in a bowler. So let's say if they get Pathirana, he's there. And you have another slot at 11 over there. So you can play maybe you can play a proper batsman over there, an overseas batsman like Liam Livingstone, or you could
hmm.
get
mm,
in another batsman. I don't know who's there in the market. Maybe someone like a Deepak Huda. So it's a possibility that they could do that. But I think the only reason we have kept Ajinkya Rahane as a captain there is because you don't have Venkatesh Iyer. You don't know if he'll come back or not. And I was thinking that if KKR is a bit strategic, they could just get Josh Inglis not for this season. They could have him for next year, which helps them a lot. They could just go with Johnny Besto and Josh Inglis. So Johnny Besto plays the you can say the this year, and next year you have someone like Josh Inglis, because I'm looking at players who have international experience. Cam Green is playing consistent international cricket. You see Jamie Smith,
mm,
he does well in tests, but for some reason they're using him as an opener, and he struggled in limited overs as an opener. I feel he'll do excellent as a finisher or in the middle order, because he has the game to play spin as well as pace. But sometimes when he's opening, he just tries to go over aggressive and loses his wicket. So, and KKR could even look at Prithvi Shaw and surprise us. I won't be surprised if you have Prithvi Shaw opening over there,
Yeah,
because KKR does this. If you see the players they picked up Umran Malik for like a throwaway
75 lakhs.
price.
Yeah,
Exactly.
mm,
So I know they'll go for Deepak Huda because he's also going to come at a pretty cheap price. So KKR does it. Tripathi will come back. So all these players
mm.
who have been discarded, whom KKR has had with a small relationship with, or who have international or not international IPL experience, KKR definitely has been targeting them. So I wouldn't be surprised. I know. I just my only concern is that the lineup is the structure is not in place. So are they looking for a keeper at the top, or are they looking for a keeper in the middle order? Are they looking for a finisher? They have Robin Powell, or they want to go for someone like Cam Green, because Cam Green has been successful batting in the top four. But do you have a spot for him in the top four? You want to use him at six. So those are my concerns with KKR. It's a big topic, like so it's more about us observing what they're going to do and then deciding, okay, this is what they wanted to do, rather than us suggesting and they just surprising us.
yeah, yeah. A lot of options for Kolkata Knight Riders, as we just discussed. Moving on from the Kolkata Knight Riders, will bring in Ninad Lakde for his arch rivals, as they say, Chennai Super King. They have the second highest purse of 43.4 crore, four overseas slots to fill. The big missing puzzle is Matisha Patirana. Who do they get in place of Patirana, or they go back to Patirana? Obviously, Nathan Ellis will be their first choice overseas pacer at this point, but do they go to a Matt Henry? Dhoni likes these line and length bowlers, so a Matt Henry or Lungi Ingidi will be much more in demand for CSK rather than other teams. So, do you think? And another option, another player which they need desperately is a spinner, because apart from Noor, I don't see any other spin options there as well. And in the market, apart from Bishnoi, again, I don't see a lot of Indian experienced spin options. So, Minaj, your thoughts on what CSK can do here?
Yeah, I think more than a pacer, what CSK would look to do is get a spinner because you have Anshul Kamboj, Khalil Ahmed. Khalil Ahmed is a well-established IPL player
Mhm.
now. He's shown that he can do well in the power play. Anshul
Yeah.
Kamboj as well. He has a lot of promise. He's been doing well in the domestic circuit. So I trust CSK to trust him and give him the overs even in the middle as an enforcer or in the death overs as well. You've got Nathan Ellis as well. So you've got three paces, and on a track like the Chepauk, I think three pacers and you have Shivam Dubey, who may or may not bowl. So you have four options. That's more than enough. So they would
Correct.
primarily look for a spinner because you see the past couple of years they've had Ashwin, they've had Jadeja now without, and over the years when you say CSK spin, you link it directly to Ashwin and Jadeja, and
Correct.
now with both these players gone, there's actually a huge void to fill. Traditionally, you've seen CSK, the way they go about their game and the way Dhoni also goes about his game is that he brings in spin to choke. We've seen it over the past decade. He uses spin in a really brilliant manner. So their key would be to go hard on the spinners. I wouldn't be surprised even if they end up overpaying someone, like you said earlier. Maybe Venkatesh Iyer doesn't deserve 18 crores, but
Mhm.
he may get it because of the auction dynamic. So I think perhaps CSK also might do such a thing with the spinners that are available in the market. You've got Ravi Bishnoi, who is, I think, maybe their primary target.
Mhm.
You've got Rahul Chahar also in the mix. You've got Akil Hussain in the West
Correct.
Indies. CSK like their spinners to do a little bit of batting, so wouldn't be surprised if they go with him. Maybe they go back to Tikshana as well. You never know. So there are a lot of players in the market. Um, you've got both a mix of international as well as overseas options. But looking at the team composition, you think uh, that there's only one place remaining in the squad for an overseas slot. So even if they get two overseas spinners, one's going to be sitting on the bench. And coming to the batting, I mean, it's already looking power packed. You've got the inclusion of Sanju Samson now with Ruturaj Gaikwad. Uh, Two excellent players, not being getting much chances in the Indian team, unfortunately. Justice for Samson, yeah, with the Justice gang. I think Kevin sir will agree with me here. Then you've seen Gaikwad as well in the third ODI. Like traditionally, he's been an opener. Even in the IPL, his functionality is to play the anchor role. But we saw in the ODI he played number four. So he's one player who has a lot of grit and he is a team person. I would say he would get the job done no matter whatever is given to him. And also, he's a captain over here on paper. So I think the batting's pretty good. You've got Ayush Matre as well. Urvil Patel, I think we haven't written it over here in on the probable playing 11, but
Yeah.
I think he may also get a
He
nod
can
right into
slot
the
in
playing
the middle
11. You've got
order. Yeah. Yeah, he can slot in.
yeah, along with Brevis, you've got a really solid core, a young core with CSK. So you don't associate these words much, young and CSK together, but yeah, there's something for a change right now. It's a very young team that's being built, and you can see the way CSK is planning forward for, let's say, the next mega auction, the next 4 to 5 seasons. So again, maybe someone like a Liam Livingston could fit in well with this team. Even Michael Bracewell, they had Santner earlier. They hadn't used him as much, but you can see that Bracewell and Santner, it's like a like for like replacement. Bracewell is a much better batter as well. He can tonk the ball. So maybe if Dhoni wants to send him above at number seven, that also could be done. Um, so yeah, that's what I think
Yeah.
of what this current CSK lineup is. It is a good team. They have very few slots to be filled, and they've got a good purse. So they look to assemble a really strong playing 11 or playing 12 in this upcoming season.
Yeah, Kevin, I saw you mentioned they need a left arm spinner, but amongst Indians, I see a Prashant Veer who has attended CSK trials. I'll just give an update on him. He has attended CSK trials. He's basically UP ka Jadeja. He's a left arm spinner, bats left handed in the middle order. So maybe he is an option. Kumar Karthikeya is an option as a left arm spinner. And apart from that, the overseas guys, you have George Linde, Akil Hussain, as Ninad mentioned, and I don't think Keshav Maharaj is in the auction, but if he is, he will be another left arm spinner. But not a lot of options there, especially amongst Indians. But I think, as Ninad mentioned, Liam Livingston fits the bill here. Bats in the middle order or as a finisher can come above Dhoni and can bowl off spin and leg spin. And Dhoni likes such players, isn't it, Kevin?
Yes, yes, surely. And I feel that they'll go. I think they'll go hard for Cam Green. If they don't get him, definitely Liam Livingstone for sure. And if he doesn't come, then you have Michael Bracewell. So you have that guy. You have an off spinner. I'm a little
Yeah.
surprised they let Rachin Ravindra go. Maybe
Hmm.
they'll buy him back. I'm not sure. I wish his bowling. I saw the bowling that I saw in the Test match against West Indies, and he
Yeah.
just couldn't get it right. And if he just works on his bowling, he becomes such an asset, especially in this auction. I know there's not much time here, but the auction is in a few days. But if his
Yeah.
bowling was really good, teams like KKR and CSK would have been going for him because both these teams lack the left arm. In KKR you had Shakib who did really well for them,
Yeah.
and CSK you've always had Jadeja. Back in the day you had Shadab Jakati and you had even Pawan Negi play alongside Jadeja. So I feel that Kumar Kartikeya could be a player that they need to look towards. It's unfortunate that CSK doesn't back spinners from Tamil Nadu. You let Manivaran Siddharth go.
Siddharth, R. Sai
You didn't
Kishore.
chase. Yes, RSI Kishore for that matter. I thought he would be a good replacement to Jadeja in the long term. So
Yeah.
they've lost on those spinners, but the good thing is that they have a backup to Noor in Shreyas Gopal if required. But you need a finger spinner, and it's looking unfortunate that even they let Santner go to MI at base
Yeah.
price. So they might consider getting someone in as a backup to Noor. Maybe I think Akil Hussain is the best bet for them because he bowls with the new ball. You have
Yeah.
Khalil who will play bowl with the new ball. Having someone like I'm not sure. I'm not sold on Kamboj. I know they're backing him, but his pace is something of a concern. But I would look forward to the development of Mukesh Chaudhary. I think he's still retained by CSK.
Yeah,
If I'm
he
not
is. He
wrong.
is. Yeah.
So they have two options. Death, I think Nathan Ellis for sure. I don't see any other player. Maybe they'll go for someone who can bowl fast. They could go for someone like a Nokia as
Nokia,
a
yeah,
back.
maybe.
Yes, as a backup to Ellis, just because on a pitch that you need a bit of bounce, that can come as an advantage. But I'm very excited because they have most of their uh, the squad looks good. They have very few slots to fill. They have a big purse. They just need one big player. Who's going to be that one big player is a matter of concern. But else, I'm excited about this team. The only wish I have is that I would prefer that Gaikwad opens and Samson bats at three because
Hmm.
he's done well in the IPL at number three as an opener. I don't think I think last season was the only time he may have opened, and he opened
Correct.
only because of the centuries that he got playing for India as an opener. So from that perspective, I think Gaikwad seems a much better bet with Samson coming in, taking his time, and then going, what you can say, ballistic. And that four spot, I'm surprised you didn't put in Venkatesh Iyer. They could really
Yeah,
consider Venkatesh Iyer
yeah,
for that number four spot
agreed.
because in a side like KKR, Venkatesh Iyer, he becomes a big player. Like all eyes on him because he's that you can say he has done well in knockout games and he has experience. But in CSK, he just becomes a role player. Even if you get something like a, a 25 25 ball 35, that's good enough for a team like CSK because you have the power hitters coming after him. So you need someone who can just hang in there and navigate through the tough phases. So Venkatesh Iyer also becomes very critical. Oh, I can see it now. You have it on the screen. I missed it.
Yeah, I have
So
Venkatesh
yeah,
Iyer, Sarfaraz. I mean, there are lack of options after Venkatesh Iyer. The drop off is such a huge drop off that you have to go to Sarfaraz Khan or Mahipal Lomro. But yeah,
yeah,
Venkatesh Iyer fits in perfectly here at number four. If they do go for him, because Cameron Green comes first. If KKR get Cameron Green, their purse reduces drastically, and then CSK and KKR can be on a same level, and then CSK can boss with Venkatesh Iyer's bidding. So yeah, I agree with that point there.
yeah. So that's what CSK has to do. They have to decide who they want and
Mhm.
whom they are ready to push KKR to. So KKR gets one play and CSK gets another. I think it's a very good decision and a very bold decision to let Patirana go. I
Mhm.
know he is a death bowler, but the money that you've freed up, and with that money you can just get one good player who's good enough to help you win. Because if you see the squad, I feel that they are definitely a playoff contender. Last year they started off well. Noor was doing really well, but he didn't get the support that he
Yeah.
needed. So maybe if you get someone who can, just help you navigate through those middle phases and towards the death. And I'm reading these memes where, Romario Shepherd, he destroyed the career of Matisha Patiran is what's going on. But but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of options for CSK as well, a huge purse, so it will be interesting. Spinners is the need of the hour for CSK with only Noor Ahmed in the squad currently, apart from Shreyas Gopal as a backup. Nikhil, let's move to your favorite team. They have the third highest purse, 25.5 CR, six overseas slots in. The big question is who is their fourth overseas player because they couldn't figure it out last year as well. Head, Klassen, and Cummins are locked in. They tried Vian Mulder, they tried Kamindu Mendes, they tried Ishan Malinga. I think almost each every player played. Apart from that, from what I'm hearing, they are in the market for a spinner, and Ravi Bishnoi looks like a perfect fit for them because he's an defensive spinner, bowls the googlies, can bowl 4 overs cheaply if he gets the googly right. Bishnoi is the top target in the auction as well. So, do you think Bishnoi and then the fourth overseas, who are you looking at?
Yeah, I think about the spinner point. Um,
Mhm.
I I doubt how much how much of value they think they get from a spinner because I've been following this Cummins and Vittori kind of think tank. Is it a think tank? There's only two people, but whatever. It's not even a circle because there's two people. It's a line. But I've seen what they've been doing. I don't think they really care about a spinner that much. Even when they had good spinners, they had Rahul Char and Zampa last year.
Yeah,
Zampa got injured and he had to
yeah,
go home. Rahul Char played like 3 4 games and they gave up on him. And then they found this Zishan Ansari guy. He played
yeah.
a few games and they gave up on him. Then Harsh Dubey came in and he did okay towards the end. So I doubt how much value they think they get from a spinner, especially at Hyderabad Stadium, which yeah, I don't think it offers too much for spinners. Maybe when they go to places like Chennai or other grounds where spinners are going to get more from the pitch, they'll look at the spinners. Maybe then they'll play two spinners. But otherwise, I think they're just going to play one spinner, and I don't really think they're going to go big after any spinner. This is my opinion. I think there's a lot of talk that Hasaranga,
Mhm.
Bishnoi, they'll go for Bishnoi. We had Hasaranga few years ago,
Yeah.
and he
But
didn't
he
play a
never
single
showed up,
game.
right? He never showed up.
Yeah, he didn't show up. I don't know if
Yeah.
he was injured or what happened.
Yeah.
Um, but I always thought Hasaranga is a good fit for this team. But then I've seen how they treat spinners in this team. I don't really think they care for spinners. Harsh Dubey has done very well in the domestic stuff. He's kind of shot up through the ranks. He was playing in that what was that Rising Cup,
Yeah,
Rising
Rising, yeah.
Asia Cup.
Rising Asia Cup. Yeah. Emerging Stars
Yeah,
Asia Cup.
the one where Jitesh Sharma was captain.
Yes, correct.
Um, Yeah, and I was very surprised that he got picked because I think there are some good left-arm spinners in India, and he got the nod ahead of a lot of them, and he's done well for Vidarbha in SMAT.
Correct.
He's
Correct.
captain.
Oh, very
So he's bowling the power play. He's batting. He's batting at like 5 and 6 sometimes, but I don't think he has a power game. So then Sunrisers don't care about that. But he's doing well, and I have a feeling they might just pick him. His economy rate is very good, which I know they care about because
correct.
if you've got one guy who's bowling 3 overs, four, maybe I don't know if he'll bowl 4 overs every time, but if he's bowling 3 overs and he goes at economy rate of 7, 8, and then if you score like 220, 230, then that's so valuable, right? So I think they'll try to give him some game time. Zishan Ansari looked very good, but again, his economy rate was high. The other
Yeah.
thing, as you said, so this is the spinners thing. I don't think they'll go big because I think Bishnoi will be in very high demand, and he'll
Correct.
go for a big amount. There's a lot of teams that will go after Bishnoi. Maybe CSK, maybe. Um, but yeah, then there is a part of the fourth overseas. They've got two options. They can go for there's two spots I think that they have to fill in. If
Hmm.
we say that Harsh Dubey or Zishan Ansari is going to be the spinner, they have to get a batter in the middle order, someone because Abhinav Manohar was let
Correct.
go of,
Correct. Yeah.
or they'll have to get a fast bowler, and they probably need a few fast bowlers. But they can either get like an Indian middle order batter and an overseas fast bowler, or an overseas middle order batter and an Indian fast bowler. There's a lot of overseas fast bowlers in the market.
Correct.
There's so many, right? I feel like every year there's so many overseas fast bowlers.
Yeah.
So they can go for one of them. They've got two already in the squad. In Bryden Cars is there, and this
Ishan
guy
Malik.
Ishan Malinga is there. So will they go for another overseas fast bowler? I don't know. I don't know how much they rate Bryden Cars. I think he was also injured last year, or he
Yeah, he
didn't.
didn't come
I
up.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play. But he fits the SRX mold, right? He can hit
Correct.
big,
Correct. He
and
hits
he
big.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can commit like a 8, 9,
Great.
whatever. He
Yeah.
can hit big. I mean,
Correct.
Pat Cummins has been doing that anyway, so I don't know how much they'll look at that. But for SRH, there was two options that have pulled out. Unfortunately, there was Russell and Maxwell that I
Correct.
think were perfect for this team,
Yeah.
and now they're not here. So I think the name that stands out is Liam
Liam
Livingston.
Livingston. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence in him as a proven IPL player, and all of that. How much money you want to give him, and um, but yeah, there's not many options. The other thing is the Indian fast bowling. They'll need a few of them because I know Pat Cummins wants Indian fast bowlers. He relies on experience of Indian fast bowlers. I remember he talked about Bhuvneshwar Kumar when he
Yeah.
was there, and how much help he gave him. When they're like defending totals and it's coming down to the wire. Bhuvi's got that experience. Last year it was Unadkat who played that role, that experienced guy who's going to look after the young Indian fast bowlers and give them tips and set fields and come up with plans. Cummins is still, I think, inexperienced in terms of IPL captaincy, which
Yeah.
is completely different to Test match
International. Yeah.
captaincy. So he'll want to look at that. There's not many. Akashdeep is probably the standout one, but again, I don't know how good of a T20 bowler he is. He's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. He is not that great a T20 bowler as you say. Yeah.
Yeah, and but there's not many options. Akash Madwal is there, and that's why I was well, we move on to them like someone like Natarajan was retained, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's because they knew there weren't going to be many options in the
Correct.
auction. So then you look at it and think, well, Shami, they have kept him. I wonder if the relationship was gone between the team and Shami because he was
Mhm.
traded. He wasn't
Release.
even released. Yeah, so maybe the relationship was gone. He probably said he wants to leave, and so they'll have to look for fast bowlers, Indian fast bowlers, and they'll have to look for a finisher or an overseas finisher. I mean, Kevin said JV Smith can bat in the middle order. If he
Yeah,
can do that, and if they figure out a way to, if he's okay with that, I think that would be brilliant as well. If he can come in 15th, 16th over, yeah, just give you like 30 of 10 balls, something like that. Because that's the SRH way. Like we all know now. We figured out what kind of players they want. It's all these high octane. Like Ishan Kishan was the craziest one. I had no you like even if you would have bet me thousands of dollars, there's no way I would have said Ishan Kishan is coming. Three reasons, right? Because one, he's a opener. We've
yeah,
already got two openers that we
correct.
retained.
Yeah,
He's a left-handed opener. Both of our openers are left-handed, and
yeah,
then he's a keeper, and we've already got a keeper. So I
yeah,
like there is no what is the point of him? But yeah, they kept him. They've retained him. I was slightly surprised they retained him this year. They could have looked at someone else, but yeah, I listened to Daniel Vittori. He talked about Ishan Kishan. He was like, Ishan Kishan's ceiling is the highest out of all of them. Like on his day, he's going to win you so many games, and he can give you anything, right? Like he can give you 80 of 30 balls or something.
correct. Yeah,
And there's very few players that can do that. So they like him. They're probably going to keep him at three, and then Reddy, Klaasen, they'll go for someone. Aniket Verma will be the impact sub, and then loads and loads of fast bowlers who we'll see now who they go for.
yeah. A lot of interesting thoughts there. Nikhil thinks that they will not be much interested in a spinner. Let's see how that goes. Probably another overseas fast bowler, as Nikhil says, and another batter here to slot in. Maybe a Liam Livingston, but he is not inspired by Liam Livingston's last year's IPL performance. Moving,
Eh,
yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. So just to conclude, what do we want SRH, or what does SRH think they're doing? So that fourth slot should be for a fast bowler, right? Because I feel that if you have Cummins bowling with someone like Nokia or Lungi Nigidi for that matter, anyone who has international experience, those two bowlers along with you can say Jaideep Unadkat and Harshal Patel, you have four pacers who have international experience, have quality. I know Jaideep Unadkat might get a lot of beating, but then on those pitches, any bowler is going to get, you know, go for runs. So I agree with Nikhil's strategy. Let's go with let's go with four pacers and then pack the batting up because you
Mm,
don't want to play in a VN Mulder or someone who can bat and bowl a bit. Gus Atkinson or guys like these who can bat and bowl because you're not sure. No, let's go with five bowlers. I have no problem with going with five bowlers. You can have Abhishek Sharma bowl if needed. You have Travis Head who can bowl a bit if needed. If you
And
go in
Nitish
with
Nitish
Kumar,
this,
Reddy.
Nitish Kumar is there.
yes, and use them only if you only use them only if it's needed. Back your five bowlers, all five who are proper professional bowlers, and you pack the batting. Five bowlers with seven batsmen, I think that should be good if they want to play on flat batting wickets, rather than go in with bowlers who can do a bit, like someone like a Hasaranga who can bat and bowl. Ravi Bishnoi also, I get completely Nikhil's point. It doesn't make sense because you're not never going to have pitches that are going to be support the bowling. And if you see Ravi Bishnoi what he did well for LSG was even the lengths. If he bowled short and all, the grounds are big, so he would get wickets on the boundary. That's never going to happen in Hyderabad. If I miss it, it's going to go for six. So might as well go for back pacers, and back your batting. And only thing I feel that I think Ishan Kishan is batting at three. If he could bat at four, I think it would be great because he's really good against spinners. And if you see the what he did to Kuldeep in 2020, sorry, it was 2018 or 19. He scored
19,
some
I
20,
think 19, yeah,
no,
19.
it was 22, I think. No, it was not 22. It was 2018, I think. He scored a 62 of 22 balls
Correct,
against
correct,
Kuldeep.
correct, yeah.
So he has that game to play against the spinners. So if they use him as him and Klassen batting together, I think it will be good. Rather than, having, I feel Nitish Kumar Reddy sometimes is batting up position a bit higher. Back your best batsman up front, and you always have Pat Cummins. I felt he was underutilized last year. even the year prior with his batting. He is a good striker of the ball. He's a
Mm.
guy who has got 50s against Mumbai Indians, against Bumrah. So you have that quality. Why not use it?
I
So
remember Cummins tonking Bumrah for sixes.
yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I've seen
And
that, and
even in Test cricket, his game has changed now. He goes after the bowling now when he
yes,
comes in. I
yeah. So
don't know if this is the IPL effect.
yeah. So instead of having like that's what I said. I know Bryden Cast has that bit of character in him, and SRH wants those characters, but yeah, like I would prefer someone who can bowl 140. You can surprise. Then we're talking about the IPL. Majority of these players are Indian players. They might not have faced this heat. So if you have two bowlers bowling 90 plus, I think it's going to create an impact. And then you have two players who can exploit the if the pitch has uneven bounce, you have Harshal Patel and Jaydev Unadkat who can exploit that. So if they go with this approach, I feel they'll be really much better placed. You know, it's unfortunate that the 2024 season is what they're trying to replicate. But in that side, they had too many players who were good enough. Um Sorry, who were good enough to play for other teams, but they were warming the bench. You had someone like
Mm.
Sundar Phillips, you had Asaranga, you had even Mayank Agarwal. These guys are good players, but you couldn't play them because your first level. Marco Jansen also was there. So you had these guys,
Fazalak
but
Faruqi.
yeah, so you had some good players, you couldn't play them so that your philosophy worked, but now the game has evolved. So let's
Yeah.
see. I'm excited
And
about how they use the 25 crores, but
yeah.
they like KKR, they're going to surprise us. We'll know only after the auction.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're going to back that approach completely. They'll want to find an power play bowler. There is no one who can bowl with the new ball right now. So they need someone who's gonna open the bowling.
Yeah, there's
And then
this guy
Abhishek
called
Sharma's been opening the bowling for Punjab. But I don't know if they're going to I don't know if they're going to give him
uh,
too many
I'm
overs.
telling you, no, none
One
of
more
these
point.
Indian players, none of the Indian
Yeah,
players are going to bowl when the pressure is on them. I'm telling you, in the IPL, you don't want
yeah.
that to affect your brand value and memes being created.
They'll just bowl in the nets. People like
Yeah.
Shivam Dube.
Yeah,
One more
you just
point
bowl
on
in the
Nitish
nets
Reddy.
to
Yeah.
Yeah,
ensure that you classify as an all-rounder, so you can make the Indian side.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, one more point on Nitish Reddy. I feel like his game has gotten a bit confused now. I don't know where he sees himself. If he's a finisher, because he came into the team as a top order. I think he was batting three, four, maybe four.
Yeah.
And he was never looked as like a go from ball one kind of finisher player. I think India is looking at him like that as a finisher, like someone to replace Hardik to come in six, seven, whatever. But I don't know what this team is looking at. I don't know where his game is at. I don't know if he's got like a go from ball one finisher, get like 15 of five and 10 of two and all of that kind of finisher stuff, that kind of game. So that he'll have to figure it out because these next few years are important for him, right? He's been backed by the team, right? That's the thing he has. The team like him, like the Indian team like him, the selectors like him, and he's been identified as like a future player. So these next few years with SRH are important for him. Wants to keep that journey with India.
Yeah, I agree with that point there. Smaran
yeah,
Ravichandran is also a good buy there. They can slot him in the middle order if they want because he has done well, extremely well in the domestic circuit.
Mm,
But yeah, I like the idea of what Kevin and Nikhil are suggesting. Maybe go in with five bowlers, get in a pacer, especially somebody who can bowl in the power play, then that solves another problem as well. Probably just play one of Dubey and Ansari and then slot in another batter here. Moving on to the next team, LSG have the fourth highest purse of 22.95 CR. And Kevin, we have discussed this. Their team is such a mess that I don't know how to solve this, but they have done some off-season trading. They have bought in Mohammad Shami for 10 CR and they have backed Mayank Yadav for another season, who played three games last year but looked not even half the player he was in 2024. In 2024, yeah. So how do you look at this team currently? Their batting looks solid, packed up with power hitters at number six. Abdul Samad had a fantastic season. I think Liam Livingston fits the bill perfectly here as well. Say at a number seven or probably at number six, and Samad can come down at seven because he bowls as well. And then you have these five bowling options as well. So How do you see LSG doing this auction? Because I think they're fixated with this theory of all Indian bowling, which might not work again.
Um, I'm not sure. It could work. And the with LSD, I think they're looking more like Sunrisers of 2024 going to the auction.
Mhm.
They what they've done is they've got some really good players at base price. That is the
Yeah,
reason they had enough money. I was just thinking if they didn't go for Shami, they would have had like 32 crores going to this auction
correct,
with not many
correct.
spots to fill.
Yeah.
But what I'm looking, I think they're going very aggressive, and this is their year. If they don't make it this year, then I think they're going to spiral down. And how many have we looked at? I think three consecutive seasons that they've not made the playoffs. Is
Two
that
consecutive, 24 and 25, 22, 23. They made the
yeah?
playoffs.
Okay, 2 years they've not made. So if they don't make it this year, it'll be three consecutive. And I
Correct.
think all 3 years they had Langer. Is that right?
24, 25. Last 2 years they have had Langer, and yeah, again this year they will have Langer. If they don't make, yes,
So he,
Langer's
so
job is
he,
definitely going next year if
so
they
yeah.
don't make
But
the
if
playoffs.
you look at that side, like I thought Aiden Markram opening was it was a mistake. I still feel it's a mistake, but now because they
Mhm.
are the way their side is set up, they have to
Yeah,
go with him. So you have
yeah.
Mitchell Marsh who goes aggressive. You have Markram who can take his time. Now the big point is I want to see Nicholas Pooran at three
Mhm.
because he is exciting. He can explode. You if you have Marsh and Pooran batting together like we had last year,
Correct.
you saw the scores that they got.
Yeah,
From the first 10 overs, they were getting like 110, 120. I think they got
yeah,
in 140 or something
yeah.
around that. And after that, it tapered off, but they still got a good enough score. Which is a much better approach than you start slow. You get 100 in the first 10 overs, and then you try to get 120 in the last 10, and you are excited. I feel it doesn't matter as long as you get to the mark. Whether you go aggressive at the top or you go
Mhm.
aggressive at the bottom, I feel at the top going aggressive is much more easier and it helps you because the bowling is under pressure. You look at the opposition captain and he's scratching his hat when you have two guys like Marsh and Pooran going together, and then you
Yeah.
can have Rishabh Pant batting at number four instead. Who can just come and take his time. You don't need Rishabh Pant to be explosive. But now, if you want Rishabh Pant to bat at three and be explosive, you are expecting Pooran to play the what do you can say cautious game. I don't
Yeah.
think he has that game to do that.
Mhm.
So like I would prefer that they stick to what they did last year. You have one and two, you have Pant at four, you have Purin at three. Badoni is really good at five and six.
Yeah.
I've seen his numbers whenever he has come in and collapse with the team.
Yeah. He has done
I
well.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got 50s from there. You have Abdul Samad, he's a really good talent. I'm surprised they hung on to Shabazz Ahmed. I thought they'll get some trades for him, but they've held on to him. I don't think he'll play. You have both Shahbaz Ahmed and Manimaran Siddharth who can bowl in the power play, which is an exciting prospect to go alongside Mohammad Shami. You
Correct.
have then first change, you have Avesh Khan. We are hoping Mohsin is fit. If not, you also have, I think Prince Yadav did well, really well
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
you, so that bowling looks good. There's, I think, one slot empty. Who did they go for is what is a bit of concern. It could be possible they could try to go up to 20 crores for Cam Green, because they could, but definitely he's not going to get sold. But I would
Yeah.
like them to go for a player called Willow Rook. He was there with them last year.
Yeah.
I feel he's a player that all the teams should chase because he's a guy who's I think he's 6+, 6'4", I think.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
And they could go for Kyle Jameson. It's not about how impactful these players are, how good they do, but they give you that variety in your team. You have someone who can, like Marco Jansen. I never thought Marco Jansen would be that great when he defended against KKR. But when you have a bowler on a pitch that has two paced, who can bowl 130, 135, and who can get that steep bounce, it could be pretty effective. You just need one good ball against the batsman. You could bowl five bad balls and get one good ball, it's going to work. So I feel that they need to go for that overseas player. They've released Shaman Joseph or they have held on to him.
They have released him. They have released him.
So they have that one overseas slot available.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're not talking about Arjun Tendulkar. They've traded him, so definitely they have something in thought for them.
I
Yeah,
mean, Ninad, if he's listening, MI's favorite son is now at LSG. So Arjun Tendulkar is at LSG. Your thoughts on that?
I think he's going to warm the bench. No, it.
Yeah.
I thought you would say.
I don't know. I don't see him.
I thought you were going to say he's going to
Yeah,
win them the IPL.
I don't see him making the playing 11. You've got more well-established players. So yeah, like you've got Mohsin Khan, who has a lot of potential. He was there in MI as well earlier. He's played games. You've got Mayank Yadav, who has that X factor. So Avesh Khan as well. He's well established. So I don't see him getting a nod above any of these players. So
Yeah.
tough call.
Yeah, I
So
mean, it's
it's tough for
interesting
him to
that
get in.
you trade a 30 lakh player, especially with five Indian fast bowlers already in the squad. You have one, two, three, four, five, and then Arshin Kulkarni bats top of the order, but he can bowl as well. So there are five Indian fast bowlers, and they have gotten Arjun Tendulkar as a as a as an trade. So it's quite fascinating. Don't know what quite was happening there, but Bharat Arun is their fast bowling coach. So hopefully that helps Arjun Tendulkar. And I've heard that played a big role in getting in Mohammad Shami to LSG. Hopefully he can work with these five Indian fast bowlers and get something out of them. They have Akash Singh as well. I forgot his name. Akash Singh bowls with the new ball, left arm fast bowler. So six fast bowlers apart from Arjun Tendulkar. Arjun Tendulkar obviously is the top of the list, but these six are there as well. But yeah, as Kevin mentioned, they have a lot of questions. Who can they bring in as in that seven number slot? He thinks that they can rejig their batting order a bit. In fact, from this they should keep it what they had last year, getting Pooran at number three, Pant at four, Badoni at five is good. At Sawad at six is fantastic as well.
Yeah, just I wanted to add on how many overseas slots they have because
They
I'm
have
just
four.
trying to
Only.
understand.
They
Oh,
have
they have
over.
four. So what the advantage that they have is they have a core in place, and now they have to decide what is the batting lineup that or the bowling lineup they want to go with, and then find
Yeah.
out which links they need to fill. Because if let's say I want to start this season as a fresh season with this
Mhm.
with players that I have, I would have Mitchell Marsh open, and I would get in someone like a Prithvi Shaw to complement him. I would have number three as Nicholas Pooran. You would have four as Rishabh Pant. I would have Markram at five, six Bodoni, seven Samad. This is the batting lineup that I'm looking at. With this
I
seven,
like
with
that. I like that. Shaw in any team, I like that. He's a high intent opener. He can kill a game in the power play.
because I'm not looking at I'm looking at phases in the game. I'm looking at momentum. You have Mitchell Marsh and Prithvi Shaw open the power play. You're looking at easy 60 to 70 runs in the power play.
Yeah,
And what is this Shaw? Shaw is just a firecracker at the moment. He's never going to score 22 ball 10 runs or 22 ball 23. He's either going to be a 10 ball 20 or he's going to be first ball duck.
yeah,
So he when me as a bowler, if I'm going to bowl, I'm looking at Mitchell Marsh with Prithvi Shaw opening, and then I have Nikhil Spuran at three, Rishabh Pant at four, Markram at five. I'm already going to be bowling a defensive line. I'm not going for wickets. I just want to contain, and this is where I could have that advantage. And then you look at the bowling. You have someone like Mohammad Shami coming along with, let's say Mohsin is fit. So I
yeah,
have Mohammad Shami with Mohsin. I have number three, Avish Khan backing him. Now I have Digvish Rathi because I've let go of Bishnoi, which is not a bad call. I just need one more pacer, or I can get in someone like a Hasaranga as well.
yeah.
So I
Hassan
have
is a bad shout for this team, to be honest. Yeah,
I have that flexibility over there. So I feel that they just need someone who can bowl in the middle overs in this team because Avish Khan is a good death bowler. I know he goes for runs, but he's still a guy who could bowl in the death. So we're looking at someone who can just back up these three paces, an overseas player who has a lot of experience in this field. And I'm just thinking, I think maybe Willow doesn't have the experience, but he gets in potential. But you can
yeah,
go for someone like Andrik Nokia on these grounds, big grounds. Andrik Nokia can be really effective. You saw the success that Mark Wood had with them. I think it was in the first season itself. Uh,
2022. Yeah,
yes, and I made this big mistake. I called him like he was someone was auction. We were playing this mock auction, and I said he's a waste of money when I think the guy got him for 4 crores or something. And the first game,
well, that was me. That was me. Just
I
to
know it was you. And I remember he got a
he
five in
got
the
a
first
five
game.
wicket haul in the first game itself against Delhi Capitals. He got Prithvi Shaw. He got Mitchell Marsh out as well. So these two guys
Exactly.
we are talking about. Yeah,
So having someone like an Andrik Nokia in the side, and you just look at that bowling, suddenly it looks like it looks like KKR bowling in 2024. because suddenly now these bowlers have someone to bank on. They'll be looking at. I know he'll go for runs, but and any guy who has international experience, who has played, IPL for pretty good time, would be an asset to this team. So they have the foundations in place. It's just about getting the right lineup. And I think at this time, Rishabh Pant needs to be the captain. Doesn't need to be the batter. He needs to say what's the best for the team, rather than saying, hey, I feel that he's good at four. He was good for Delhi as well at four. He could look at that as an opportunity for even Team India is looking at someone as a finisher. So if he could make that sacrifice and say, hey, I don't want to have a 500, 600 run season batting at opening or batting at three. I'm
Hmm.
ready to have a 450 season or 400 season, but striking at 200. It'll be a good what you can say a setup for LSG. So
Yeah,
I think they have the foundations in place. It depends whose team it is, who's making the calls, what are the players that they're looking at. So we
yeah.
mentioned it. Let's see how they go about it. But like SRH, this team also we like they have the foundations in place. It's all about get filling in that missing fourth overseas player spot, and that can be
And
tough because I've been an RCB fan. And we had a very good top three. We just didn't know who that who that fourth guy is going to be. And yeah, so yeah.
moving on from LSG, two punts ex team, Ninad will slot in here. KL Rahul, who was with LSG, now plays for this team. Delhi Capitals, they have 21.8 crore. And Ninad, to be honest, I have their playing 12 on the screen. I don't know what they want. 21.8 crore. If they don't want any players, probably they can divide that money between you and me. What do you think, Ninad?
Yeah, I'm all down for that idea. But I think they can find a few upgrades. They've got
Upgrades,
only
yeah.
17 players in their squad. So out of these 17, they have
Yeah.
12 who are going to make it into the 11. So they've just got five upgrades. So five on the bench. You can always look for upgrades and or potential replacements for some players. You've got, I mean, there's no one that's very injury prone over here in their whole playing 11. Maybe a T Natarajan or a Mukesh Kumar. So they can probably look to have a um, Indian fast bowling replacement just on
Yeah,
the bench.
just to point here, the interesting thing about this 11 is that it has just two overseas players. So they definitely are going to slot more overseas players, probably open with an overseas batter there. Not sure if KL Rahul and Porel both will open. Maybe one of them will open and they can bring in an overseas opener, which I've listed at the bottom, say QDK, Duckett, Bairstow, Conway, Shy Hope, Rachin Ravindra. So that's definitely a big option there. But and another overseas player. But I don't know, they have a lot of bases covered, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got a lot of bases covered. I think the ball dude in the Delhi Capitals dugout has his priorities sorted. He doesn't want to build a team. He's just going to sort of mess around with others' auction strategies. You've got 21 crores, so that can he can even give competition to the likes of CSK and KKR at the starting of the auction.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, I think yeah, I see Rachin Ravindra fit in this team in a good manner. Probably push out Nitish Rana. I don't
Yeah.
know. He hasn't been doing well lately in the IPL and nothing that significant in the domestic circuit as well. Maybe if you could have Abhishek Porel slot in at
Three. Yeah.
three
Yeah, you can do
and
that.
bring in
Yeah.
Rachin Ravindra to open with KL Rahul, that would be a dream opening combination. As far as keepers are concerned, I mean, I think even Tristan Stubbs keeps, right? If I'm
Correct.
not
Correct.
wrong.
Correct.
So
Correct.
you
Yeah.
don't really have to look for a backup keeper. You've got three keepers in your playing 11. So you don't need to have Quinton de Kock, Ben Duckett, because if you see them solely as batsmen, they're not really as impactful,
Effective.
or
Yeah.
there's no X factor about them that, oh, I want this guy in my team. But out of the players that are there, only I think Rachin Ravindra shows that promise. He's done well in the IPL in the limited time that he's got for CSK. Unfortunately, it hasn't clicked in the international level as much. But I think in the ODIs, he has done pretty well for New Zealand, if I'm not wrong.
Correct. Correct.
So I see that as one good uh, option. Their middle order is again stacked. Ashutosh Sharma has proved himself over and over. He's shown that he has the ability to finish games. Same thing with Vipraj Nigam as well. Really surprising. I mean, he took the IPL by storm last season, I would say. And according to me, he was, I think, the best youngster out there, or he got the Emerging Player Award last season,
I think it was Vaibhav
or who
Suryavanshi.
was
I
it?
mean, nobody else can get after you have a 14-year-old coming in. But yeah, I get
Yeah.
your point with Nigam because he's
So
a leg
if-
spinner who bats, which is quite rare in Indian cricket, and
and
he
he
did
doesn't
like
just he doesn't just bat, he dominates those
correct,
late
correct,
overs. He
yeah,
is someone who can actually give you a 10 ball 30 and hit with a 250 plus strike rate. So him along with Stubbs and
correct,
Ashutosh Sharma, I think this finishing of Delhi Capitals, they may have the best finishing or one of the best lower orders in this season IPL. And Akshar Patel as well, he's shown that he is a proper he can operate as a proper batsman. I mean, it's a little questionable what has happened in the Indian team, but yeah, let's keep that aside. But Akshar Patel has the experience of batting up the order as well. So in case you've seen him, we have slotted him at number 5 here. So he can, if there's a quick fall of wickets, I mean, he can come in and bat. Karun Nair, Samir Rizvi, I think that number 4 may be a little, the number 3 and number 4 just may be a weak link in this team. Samir Rizvi, again, in domestic, he's been really great. He has that firepower. He is a good six hitter. So hopefully, he can translate those performances back into the IPL. With Karun Nair, I really don't know. He had a good season last year, but is it like a one-off season, or will he
yeah,
continue to do well? Only time will tell. So, and both these guys as well, they're pretty much sorted. They've got two Indian spinners who make it into the frontline Indian team. Really good swing bowler for the power play in Mukesh Kumar. T Natarajan can handle the death. They've got Mitchell Stark, one of the best all format bowlers currently. So it's a very well balanced Delhi Capitals side I'm seeing here. And
yeah.
yeah,
Agreed, agreed.
they're a little spoilt, I think I would say. They can sort of go around with their purse in whatever manner they want to.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kevin, just one question here. English is a great fit for them because they have the money. They can buy him and keep him if even if he's not going to play this season. And just unleash him next year.
Yep. Yeah, I just want to come back, and I know this looks good on paper, but if you look at the batting lineup, you're looking at just KL Rahul and Tristan Stubbs who have good experience. And when I say good experience, they are the ones who are consistently playing international cricket at this moment. And if you look at the failures, that Delhi were a side that should have made the playoffs last year, but
Agreed.
I knew it that they wouldn't make it because of the batting. They had Jake Fraser Megak and Faf du Plessis. They didn't replace Harry Brook with someone who as a finisher. They could have tried Donovan Ferrer and backed in, but I think they were playing these three overseas players, and I feel that cost them. Had they gone with four overseas players, there's a difference between an Indian player and an overseas player because overseas players they don't have anything to prove to anybody. There's only things they just have to gain. Like it doesn't matter if they don't do well in the IPL because they anyway have they have their local contracts, other franchise leagues, tournaments, and they play for their international team. If you look at that side, and I'm looking at the bowling, and this is where my concern is. You have Mukesh Kumar and T Natarajan, both look good on paper, but we keep forgetting that the Delhi ground is similar to the SRH ground. It's
Yeah,
a
very
batting
small.
paradise.
Yeah,
It's a
very
batting
small as well.
paradise. So
Yeah.
I know Mukesh has done well. Natarajan looks so good, death bowler, but which Natarajan are we talking about? Because I'm not seeing Natarajan play for quite some time. Is he playing in recent is he playing good enough? Because I always you saw what happened with Andrik Nokia, such a good bowler, did well in UAE, came to Delhi. Whenever he played in India, he was getting hit for runs. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I would
that's why
like
I
to.
have this Indian pacer listed. They probably will have to go shopping for one of these or two of these players so that they get backups in case say Natarajan is not available. Mukesh Kumar starts getting hit.
Now there
They
is
can
that guy over there who's listed at number 9, Mitchell Stark.
yeah,
He's bowling close to 16 overs and innings in the Ashes.
yeah,
What fitness is he going to come into? So I know Chamira looked a very good T20 bowler when he played in the Asia Cup, but he's not replacing Mitchell Stark.
Well,
So
they obviously will buy another overseas pacer as well because they have a lot of overseas slots. They have 5 overseas slots and a huge amount of money. So definitely
yes,
buy an overseas pacer. Yeah.
yes, but my the concern is that I feel that they need to go with two. They need to go with
Yeah,
two
two in the
overseas
11. Yeah,
bowlers.
yeah. I don't disagree with that. Yeah.
Viprash Nikam should be someone like who could bowl two overs, and he's a terrific striker. So use
Yeah.
him there. I don't see the place for Karunar and Samir Rizvi in this team,
Mhm.
unfortunately. I feel that spot, KL Rahul, I know everyone is listing him as an opener. I don't think Delhi will want him to open because you having KL Rahul and Tristan Stubbs back together in those overs, it makes much more sense than having KL Rahul exposed against the new ball because I want someone who could be explosive at the top and have someone like KL Rahul who's flexible, who could just manage things in the middle order. So I'm looking at an opener slot over there to bat with Abhishek Porel, and that's where they could look at someone like Johnny Bairstow for that matter, or
Rachin Ravindra.
I was thinking of them going back to Shaw. And I don't know now with Hemang Badani coming, is that a possibility? But
I
I'm
don't think so because the owners are still the same, right?
Okay, makes sense. So, but having looking at someone like Quinton de Kock, he played for Delhi in
Yeah,
2016.
yeah.
So
Decock is a
having
good shout. Yeah,
having someone who has that international experience, I don't think they should go for Conway, but you have either go for Quinton de Kock or Besto, batting with Abhishek Porel. You have Nitish Rana. I know it's a top three left-handed lineup. You could go Nitish Rana and Abhishek Porel also open. Now, the very fact that they've gone and traded Nitish Rana is because I think they wanted a Delhi flavor and they wanted a feisty character because Nitish Rana has and had done well when he opened back in 2020 in the IPL.
yeah. He got 0, 80, 0, 80, 0.
Yes, I know that pattern. So maybe
Yeah,
they could look at that. I know KL Rahul, if he opens, you could get a 600 run season from him. But I feel that he's at a stage in his career where I feel he would do better for himself and for the team if he bats in those middle overs. And you've let go of Donovan Ferreira. You never used him. So you have that void over there with Tristan Stubbs also not in the South African T20 side, and I don't think he did that well last year. He was around 300. It always looked that he had the didn't get enough for you can say opportunities or balls to bat. He was
yeah.
always batting lower than what he should have batted. So you push him to number four or number five. I think Akshar is good enough at six. I don't want him to be batting at five over there. We saw him the other day at number three. I think he'll get exposed at some point of time. The league is going to
Yeah.
catch up with him. So they have some work to do. I feel that they could just fill in those overseas slots and then come up with a combo would be much better because they did well last year, but I feel that that same tactic won't work this year. So maybe there is some work over there for them to do. So let's see. I don't think Inglis and Miller they could consider, but my only concern with Miller is that he is always getting typecast as a pace hitter
Finished.
and
Yeah,
someone who needs to come in after the 15. They don't consider him to play good against spin, and I've not seen him also go aggressive against spinners. He takes it deep. So in the IPL, I don't think there is that much time to take it deep.
agreed. Agreed. Moving on from DC to the defending champions, Ninad, Royal Challengers Bangalore, first time winners after 18 years. Again, a team who doesn't have a lot to do, but primary suspects or primary targets will be a backup for Josh Hazelwood because they have released Lungi Ngidi. They have Nuwan Tusara who can come in as a backup, but Josh Hazelwood is not going to play the Ashes, so definitely there's a question mark over his fitness and probably somebody who can play instead of Devdutt Padikkal as well. They had Mayank Agarwal towards the second half of the season last year. Maybe a Venki Iyer if he comes in budget. Maybe go back to Mayank Agarwal. Abhinav Manohar is not a bad shout there. Having said that, he bats down the order, and then Sarfaraz Khan, maybe go back to him because I have heard that there are a couple of teams interested in Sarfaraz Khan. That's why he's listed in the first set. So Ninar, your thoughts on RCB, and they also have released Swastik Chikara because what I have heard, he troubled Virat Kohli a lot.
Um, Really, not much to do with this RCB team, as you said. They look like a well settled side. Tim David is doing pretty well in international. Yeah, Devdutt Padikkal, it's a little dicey call. I'm not sure if he would fit in well with this team because you've got Kohli who may anchor the innings. You've got Rajat Patidar as well, who's pretty good against spin, but he also plays in the similar fashion. So you've got your hitters just in for the Phil Salt, and then you've got Jitesh Sharma and Tim David. So maybe I see Padikkal, he could be replaced. Also, someone like Jacob Bethel, who's there in the team and really explosive player, but not sure who he could replace. Romario Shepherd is probably one of the options that we could see. They'll probably look to buy someone like in terms of bowling. Akash Madwal might be a
Yeah,
little suitable to this team because
yeah,
of the slower ones he bowls and the smaller size of the stadium.
agreed.
I don't know. Maybe you could see Krunal Pandya and Akash Madwal bowling different bowling types, but at the same speed. You never know.
Yeah,
So
agreed, agreed. They need some Indian bowling. So yeah, Madwal is a good option. Maybe Simarjit Singh to bring in pace. And Akib Dar Salam, who is Akib Dar Naib, I think, who is in high demand at this point of time because of his Ranji and SMAT performances. So not much to buy there, but they still need a lot of backups there because Yash Dayal, we don't know what his future holds at this point of time. So the only Indian options they have is Bhuvneshwar and Rasik. So they definitely need some Indian pacers, and as Ninad mentioned, maybe an upgrade on Devdutt and an overseas pacer as a backup for Josh Hazelwood. Those will be the three prime targets for RCB, and if they can strengthen their spin bowling, which is difficult with the options available in the market, but if they can do that, maybe that is an option as well.
Yeah, I
Mo-
have no doubts that they're going up to 10 crores easy. 10 to 11 crores. I saw the pattern last year. Besides Venkatesh Iyer, for every player they bid up to 12 crores.
Yeah,
They didn't cross 12 for any other player besides Venkatesh Iyer. So I'm looking at around 12 crores a bid from RCB for Venkatesh Iyer for that number three slot. And
agreed.
and the very fact that they let go of Mayank Agarwal, despite him doing well when he came back as a replacement to Padikkal, it just goes to show that maybe that they want to chase Venkatesh Iyer and see if they could get him back. Jacob Bethel is there as a backup. I don't think they'll use him that much. But the good thing is that they have two keepers. They have Phil Salt and Jitesh Sharma in the playing 11, so that's an
Yeah,
advantage that they have. Uh, Rasik Dar Salam, we've listed him over there just because we're uncertain about whether Yash Dayal will be able, to play the IPL. But they need to get a backup for him. I don't know are there any left arms seamers that who are there in the auction, Indian left arm seamers. I know Chetan Sakaria, he's just fallen off the radar, but I don't know. Maybe someone upcoming whom they could consider. So
let's see who is left arm fast here. It's Naman Tiwari. Not heard much about him. So yeah, but yeah, as you say, not a lot of options. Sushant Mishra, I've heard about this guy, but he has been in the auctions in the previous editions as well. He never gets picked. So yeah, no, not a lot of options in the yeah, just Chetan Sakaria, as you said, as a left arm
he's a
pacer, very
known,
few
known,
options.
known pacer Chetan Sakaria. I think he played for India as well at one point of time in Sri Lanka.
Yes, Sakaria played a game. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, and from the overseas, I'm very excited to see they have two slots open over there. Who are they going? I'm a little surprised they let go of Lungi Nigri. I thought he
Even
could.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I agree.
I thought he could come in handy over there. We're not we don't have a backup to Josh Hazelwood. I know from a power play stand of view, you could think about Nuwan Tushara.
Yeah,
He can bowl you 3 overs there, but then someone who could give you bounce. Maybe let's see.
Matt
Uh,
Henry. Maybe they might go to Matt
He's more of
Henry.
a swing bowler. I think if you have Nuwan Tushar, you need someone who in the middle overs who could get you bounce.
Then
So
is it Henrik Nokia you're talking about?
it's possible. It's you could let's see. Like I don't know like what they want, but there's a very good name you have listed over there. You have Lomror and Abhinav Manohar.
Yeah.
I feel they'll go for one of those guys just as a backup because is Rajat Patidar injured
No, no,
or
he's fit. He's fit. He's playing the SMAT, so he should be good for the IPL.
okay, fine. Because I just thought maybe if they need a backup over there, then
Hmm.
they could go for one of these guys. But besides that, I think I'm very happy that they didn't release. I felt that they would keep the same squad, but I think they just wanted to be a part of the auction, so that's why
Option,
they've
yeah,
released a few players. Because
yeah,
Liam Livingstone at 8 crores, I felt was he could have been retained. There's no point of releasing this guy if there is no players in the market. Who are you thinking of getting? And you don't need him. But let's say tomorrow Romario Shepherd is struggling. Tim
Yeah,
David, I think Tim David has the game. He might not struggle, and if he struggles, you're still backing him 14 games. Romario
correct.
Shepherd, because he's an all-rounder, you would, suddenly Josh Hazelwood doesn't turn up. You want to use him as a bowler. He starts getting hit for runs. His confidence is affected, you know, and then his batting, it shows in his batting, and you want to drop him. And who do you get then in place of Romario Shepherd? So
Yeah,
it's a valid point. The good thing for Romario Shepherd was in that final, he got the big wicket. You know,
correct. Shreyas Iyer.
having yes, having players like Romario Shepherd, like you look at Romario Shepherd and you're thinking, okay, 4 overs, 40 runs. The batter knows he looks at that lineup, RCB lineup. He's like, where am I going to get my runs? It's either going to be Suyesh Sharma or it's going to be Romario Shepherd.
I think
And these,
40 is an understatement. I'm targeting 50. Sorry.
I just want to be optimistic. You don't want
Yeah,
to, pressurize the kid. So, as when a batter looks at such a bowler, you always going to get opportunities for runs. Why Harshal Patel is so successful? Because the batter looks at him and says, "Hey, I'm going to hit you out of the park," and that's where you get these wickets. So Romari Shepherd is a good player. He did well last year, but you also need to plan if things go south. Who's your backup?
yeah,
So, so from that perspective, I feel that RCB did well. Can they repeat? I don't think they can repeat, in my opinion. I feel that all their players had a very good season last year. This year, the league always catches up. So let's
agreed.
see.
Let's see. Let's see what RCB has in the store for the auction. Moving on to Kevin's favorite team, Rajasthan Royals, who has had a huge overhaul. Their captain is gone. Sanju Samson is no more with Rajasthan Royals. They have bought in the big buy of Ravindra Jadeja and they managed to get in Sam Curran as well for 2.4 CR. The interesting thing about Rajasthan Royals is that they have just one overseas slot, but Hetmeyer, Karan, Archer, and Berger, if those are their four overseas, then that could do well for them. Having said that, the Indian pace bowling looks a lot thinner now with only Deshpande. Sandeep is there. You can put in Sandeep Sharma here, but Akash Madwal is released, so they need an Indian pacer definitely. Who are the options? These are the options. They need an overseas. I've put an overseas backup, but you obviously know Jaiswal and Suryavanshi will open, and then a spinner. Because apart from Jadeja, I don't see a wrist spinner. Kevin wrist spinner on their list, top on their list. Ravi Bishnoi from I don't think he's from Rajasthan, but Rahul Chahar is from Rajasthan, so probably
It's from
Rahul
Haryana,
Chahar
I
is,
think. It's from Haryana, I think.
yeah. So what are the big buys for RR, and what is that overseas slot that they are trying to fill?
Yeah. First of all, I'll just clear. I'm no longer associated with Rajasthan, unfortunately.
Oh, that's so sad.
I'm
After
sorry.
Rahul Dravid left, Kevin was the next guy who left Rajasthan Royals.
Yeah,
So
but coming back, like I know that Ashwin has mentioned that the RR had the best side of the trade, or they have done the best in the trade market. I would just like an opinion from the two of us. Like, do you all agree or disagree?
I think I have like a mixed opinion. I'm not quite sure. Jadeja at this stage of his career, 18 CR. I mean, they paid 14 CR, but the purse has got reduced by 18 CR. Sam Curran again is a hit and miss player. He can come good in a couple of games. But I understand what they're trying to do because they lacked spinners, so they have bought in Jadeja and they had an opener in Suryavanshi, and he is just in sizzling hot form. 171 of 95 in that Asia Cup. Before that, scored 100 of 37 balls or something in the Asia Cup, again emerging Asia Cup, and this is the under 19 Asia Cup. So yeah, they have the batting set there. Having said that, I would have liked to keep Samson in that 11.
Yeah, I would have done anything and everything that was possible in my capacity to ensure that Samson is in the side. Because
Yeah.
if you look at that squad now, and I remember last year when I was analyzing it, I saw only there were two players who were above the age of 32, and
Hmm.
actually they were 32. That was Sandeep Sharma and Nitish Rana, and the
Okay.
next was I think Sanju Samson, and you let
Yeah.
go of two experienced players in Nitish Rana and Sanju Samson to build his 11. So I wish they had traded for more fast bowlers, but then they've just got Jadeja. Jadeja is not a bad pick, but Jadeja is not taking wickets in T20s. And if you look at that RR bowling lineup, if I want a wicket, it's always going to be now Jofra Archer. Tushar Deshpande is not getting me wickets. Sandeep Sharma is a more of a containing bowler. Nandri Burger looks exciting, but injury has always been an issue with him. So where are the wickets coming from? Is my concern. Their number one
Sam
priority has
Curran.
to be the number one. Yeah, he could do well on that ground. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it. He could do well on that ground. But I need another bowler besides Archer who could bowl 140. In this case, it's Nandre Burgos who does well. I think everyone was surprised they retained Hetmeyer.
Yeah.
I'm happy they retained him because you would not get another finisher. My only concern with Hetmeyer is that Hetmeyer is a proper batter. You could use him much up the order rather than trying to force Jurel to be your number four, number five batter. I think Jurel did really well in 23 when he batted at 6-7. The moment you started pushing him to number three and five, even in 2024, he didn't what you can say he didn't deliver up to the promise. And you pushing Hetmeyer and Robin Powell in the 2024 season down the order cost you a final spot. You could have easily been playing the qualifier one, but you tried to experiment. Now let's come back to this the squad, and I'm just trying to pick their brains. What are they trying to do here? You have Yashasvi and Suryavanshi. There's no one who's going to replace these two. You've held on to the South African teen sensation, and I'm still finding it difficult to pronounce his name, but I'll call him Pretorius for the time
Yeah.
being. So you've retained him, who came as a replacement player. So like I didn't get the sense of that. You have Quena Mafaka, right?
Mapaka, yeah.
He's yes, he's a backup to Nandari Berger, but
It
I
seems
don't think
so.
he's not a play because you could consider him, but I feel that Nandari Berger is the most senior statesman in this side. So you've held on to him as well. So and you just have one overseas slot remaining. What are you going to do with that? Are you preparing for a backup for Hetmeyer, or is it going to be? We already have Donovan Ferreira for that matter. So it's you have 16 crores left. You need a spinner. You need more spinners. Are those spinners going to be effective? I'm not sure. Is your lineup looking settled? That also seems a concern. So are we going to be a side? Is Rajasthan going to be a side that is going to get 200, or are they going to be a side that's going to defend 160, 170? It's more what you can say is it's a more confused team at the moment, and the reason of the confusion is who's going to be captain before your auction. You have such a settled what you can say is squad in the with the Indian players, and you do not decide who the captain is. So the captain doesn't know what players he's getting. So how do you expect after the auction you decide a captain and he's able to galvanize the side? So it's going to be another what you can say is messy muddle for Rajasthan. So let's see how they go about this. What do I want to see? I want to see how well Yashasvi Jaiswal bats with Riyan Parag, because these two guys are the most what you can say experienced and most backed players that Rajasthan has. And I want to see them back together because I feel that that will be the best phase to watch the Rajasthan Royals batting lineup. Yashasvi coming in at one, and I think Riyan Parag can bat at three, but if for some reason he was not able to get any runs last year when he batted at three. So does he want to go back to number four or as a lucky charm, or does he stay at three? So yeah, Jadeja I think is good enough at six or seven after Hetmeyer. But if you want to send him up the order, we're looking at someone who can score a 50 or 40 balls at a strike rate of 120, 130, at the most 150. So it's yeah. And Sam Curran is like I would say is like a joker in the pack. He could get you those. I think they call them the moon balls, right? He bowls the moon balls back of the
Yeah,
hand,
the moon
loopy,
balls, yeah.
and he's a guy who has that character in him. He is that feisty character in him, along with Jaiswal, who could you could say galvanize the side. But let's see. It's the
Yeah.
bowling is what I want to see. It looks worse than it looks worse than SRH's bowling also. So yeah, there's a lot of work.
Yeah, you know the reason why Kevin left Rajasthan Royals as a fan. He's just not happy with whatever they are doing. But Sam Curran can come in at number three if Parag wants to bat at four. As you said, the joker in the pack comes in, scores a 20 ball 50. You never know. Sam Curran
The
is a
pro-
good batter. Good batter. Make no mistake.
yeah, the problem with with some teams is like I feel that if you know your best players, you ensure that the best players get the best opportunities to bat. And with Rajasthan, I noticed this pattern. Like, they were playing the numbers game. They were deciding that, if in case a wicket falls early, Let me push
Yeah,
this batter up the order,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So if you have a sports car, you drive it in the top gear. You don't always have the handbrake on saying, hey, if I see a cop or something, oh whoever, I'll just try to slow down. That doesn't work like that.
Well,
So I
Ninad has a
so
sports car. He knows a lot about it. Moving on from one pink team to another team, Ninad Lakde. Let's move on to Punjab Kings, another team which doesn't have a lot of slots to fill. In fact, just four players they can buy and an 11.5 CR budget. In fact, Ricky Ponting is not even taking the flight to wherever the auction is, Abu Dhabi, I think. He's not coming there. Shreyas Iyer is going to go from India to Abu Dhabi. And again, their 11 looks set. One thing which I would say is that Maxwell is not there, so I've listed in Mitchell Owen. Maxwell is released and he's not part of the auction at all. One thing they might look at is a backup for Chahal. I don't see a proper leg spinner in that 11 in that squad. They had this guy called Praveen Dubey or someone who used to play at DC as well, but they have released him. And they can look at an overseas opener because if one of these is not firing, probably they can drop Mitchell Owen and get in one of these overseas openers. And then Indian pace. I think Indian pace looks a bit thin. Apart from why haven't I listed Arshdeep Singh in this? I've got this completely wrong. Arshdeep Singh definitely plays. I've got this completely wrong. Arshdeep Singh is their number one retention or not retention. They use the RTM, but yeah, I for some reason I didn't had Arshdeep Singh in the 11. But yeah, Ninad, I think these are the things they will look at. Maybe a backup for Chahal, Indian pacers, and then an overseas opener in case Arya or Prabhu Simran Singh doesn't fire.
Yeah, this team really didn't do much wrong last season. It's
Yeah,
just that in the final, few bad moments didn't let the cup go their way. We saw, I mean, it's a very well balanced team. You've got good firing openers, a great captain over here, a good middle order, Vadera, Shashank Singh. We saw Shashank Singh's exploits last season. We've got a really good set of all rounders. I've got Stoinis, Omarjai, and Janssen, and these guys can give you 12 proper overs and are really good with the bat as well. So a very well settled lineup, and yeah, they would just be looking to cover the replacements. They don't have much of a purse as well. It's only 11.5. That's practically nothing, I would say, in terms of trying to go for big players. So they would probably just be spending a little here and there to just cover their bases. They could probably go for one big buy, but looking at the demand that is there, let's say for spinners, you've got the Ravi Bishnoi, Chahal, sorry, Rahul Char, that could be their potential targets. But then you've got teams like CSK who have so much more purse. So and in the need of spinners, I think even SRH is in the need of, yeah, desperate need of spinners.
Mhm.
So I think they would just outbid KKR, sorry, BBKS, and yeah, it looks tough. I mean, they have a decent spin attack. You've got Chahal leading the pack, and Harpreet Brar has shown to hold his own. We've seen that. I think I remember in a match where he got all the big wickets of RCB. He got Maxwell, Kohli, and someone else out as well. Three big players.
Maybe
So I mean,
Williams.
Harpreet Brar has, yeah. So Harpreet Brar has done enough with the ball. Uh, so it looks to be a well balanced side, and they would just be looking to cover up the bases that are left. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed with Ninad there. Not much to do there.
yeah, I'll chip in because I'm supporting this team, and I'm supporting this team because of
So they
the.
moved on from Rajasthan to Punjab.
I thought we spoke about this last year, right?
Oh, so
That
it's
I,
because
wa- I
of
was
Saiba
asked.
Wali, right? It's because of Saiba Wali who is doing the
No, no,
content
no.
for Punjab
It's
Kings.
all because of the partnership, because of Shreyas Iyer and Ricky Ponting, because I like this culture that they promote of
Mhm.
team first, you
Yeah,
know, and they don't change a bit much. I'm a little disappointed that they let go of Josh Inglis, and
English.
I
Yeah,
hope it's not something that Shreyas Iyer emphasized on because he wanted the number three spot back. So I hope that they had kept a held on to him because he's a good player. He can play spin, Sometimes against the pace, he tends to, his feet get stuck, he gets bowled. But he should have been a player that they could have held on to. But I'm just thinking about what was the thought process. They backed Mitchell Owen, and I think he'll play if as an opener if in case the one of the two Indian uncapped players they kind of like lose form. But if you see how smartly they've gone, they've retained Omar Zai. And Omar Zai in this market would have been, they don't need Omar Zai that much, but they backed him as a long-term replacement to Marcus Stoinis, someone who
Mhm.
can bat and bowl. Definitely, he won't be the finisher, but against spinners because he will always be having that experience against Rashid Khan and Noor Ahmed. So when they need someone to counter these two spinners, he's going to come in.
Yeah,
They've held on to him Lockie Ferguson and Bartlett, so it tells you that one of these two is definitely going to be a part of the 11. So you look at
yeah,
that bowl, you have Marco Jansen, you have Arshdeep Singh, you have Lockie Ferguson. You have three international quality bowlers. You have Chahal. If in case Chahal is tapering down, you can bring in Harpreet Brar. They're
yeah.
missing an off spinner in Maxwell.
Next,
I'm looking at did they free up those 3 crores for Josh Inglis to get in someone like Liam Livingstone? Because this might be the last season for Stoinis. I feel he's already I think 36, 35, 36. So
yeah,
maybe they are planning for his replacement. That's where they could consider if in case Stoinis is not having that finishing season, they could get in someone like Liam Livingstone just to play around 10 to 20 balls. I don't think Stoinis is going to get much game time. If you see that batting lineup, you have
yeah,
one, two, three Shreyas Iyer. I think Vadera plays at 4. You have a
yeah.
slot 5 for Stoinis at the moment, or you could play Shashank at 5, and then you have a 6 and 7.
Mhm.
So so I'm excited about what this team could do. And I was thinking like maybe they could work. They might not get Bishnoi. Rahul Chahar also they might consider as a backup, but they won't be on the priority list. I think the
Yeah,
priority would be just to get you can say a finisher batter as a replacement to Stoinis in future. I think they have 2 slots open, right, or one
two
slot.
overseas slots, correct. Two
They have two
overseas.
overseas slots. I think they released, yeah, released Aaron Hardy
Aaron Hardy and
and they
I mean
Josh Ingles.
Maxwell's replacement is Owen, but English and Aaron Hardy, you can talk about those
Maybe
guys.
they're looking at someone who can bowl a bit of off spin. I don't think they might even go to Bracewell, but they need an off spinner because if you see,
Matthew Short.
they could they tried him. I don't think
Yeah,
it worked out. Maybe, but they could go back again. But now
yeah,
with Ricky Ponting not coming, I don't know who's taking the calls. But they are a settled side. They're a settled side. They have
yeah,
all the players in place, and the good thing is they back the Indian players. So the Indian players are looking good. So let's say they could even look at Abhinav Manohar as a backup to Shashank Singh. And long
yeah,
term, these are all long term thoughts.
correct,
But I don't think Ricky Ponting believes in long term. You can say solutions. He needs he'll try to get an immediate result. If they made it the
correct.
finals last year, he's looking at winning the championship this year. So let's see.
Agreed.
And just to check, do they have? Did they hold on to Yash Thakur as well, or they let him go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
he's there.
have yes Thakur,
Okay. So
1.6
they
year.
have all they've held on to all their players whom they tried and tested last year. None of them
Correct.
have been rejected due to any failure. So
Yeah,
that's good. And I think no, they were not bidding for Liam Livingstone. They were bidding for Rachin Ravindra. He plays for their
yeah,
side in Washington. They could consider him as well, just for that a bit of spin option.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, not a bad
But yeah,
option.
yeah, it'll be exciting to see how what they're thinking. But they look settled, just like RCB. They look settled, but like uh, their side is much more younger as compared to RCB's. So
Correct.
let's see. Shreyas Iyer has, he had a good season last year. Needs to back it up this year. So
Yeah, if he has another 600 run season, geez, they are winning the IPL for sure.
I think
Moving
he'll
on
trade the 600 for a title
to
because he
Gujarat
gets his own.
Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sorry. Moving on to Gujarat Titans, who made the playoffs last year, but a lot of questions about their batting lineup, just the top three. From what we are hearing, Sundar is going to slot it at number four, but this middle order needs a lot of other options. They have an overseas slot open, do they? If Glenn Phillips doesn't play, because they have released Sharfin Rutherford, not released, in fact, traded to Mumbai Indians. So an overseas middle order batter, I'm looking at Liam Livingston, David Miller, maybe a Josh Inglis as an option for next year, and then They might need an overseas pacer because they have let go of Gerald Codese, so they are definitely looking at somebody for Rabada's replacement. And then this is just an option for Joss Butler in case he loses form. And then as I said, the middle order needs a batter. Venkatesh Iyer, I don't think they have the budget to get him, but maybe a Sarfaraz Khan. Mahipal Lomdor was with them at some stage, I think 2023 or 2024. So maybe that is an option because from what I'm hearing, Shah Rukh Khan is out of form as well, not the actor, the cricketer. So Kevin, your thoughts on GT? Their bowling looks settled. You have Prasidh, Siraj, Rabada. You have the two spin twins in Sai Kishore and Rashid Khan. And then Sundar as well will chip in with his over. So bowling looks settled. You need to rework the batting, I think.
Yeah, I know this team. They did well last year. I didn't expect them to do so well, but that bowling was doing well. And Prasidh Krishna had an exceptional season. But I just want to check with you, how many overseas slots they have? They have like one or two?
I think they have four.
Oh, they have four slots
Yeah,
because they
because
need a.
they have just these four overseas players at this point.
Okay, so their first 11 is looking good. They just need backups.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they don't have much purse. Like they just have 12 crores.
Well, yeah, the
So
purse is a problem, yeah. But they have to buy only five players and they have to buy four overseas if they want to fill all overseas slots. So yeah.
yeah, they went last year with seven overseas. I'm not sure. And the concern with them is they were playing just three overseas last year. And the advantage that they had was the top three. They got a lot of runs. So they are, the middle order was untested. But I don't think it'll happen this time. You see, Shubman Gill, he's struggling a bit. He will get runs for sure. But
Yeah.
Josh Butler seems to be batting out of position. The best thing to do is to have Butler open with Sai Sudarshan and have Gill at three. But it's
Oh,
unfortunate it won't happen. You have Sundar at four. I'm not sold on that thought process because Sundar, uh, he's a stable batter, and don't get me wrong, but when you have three players who are striking at 150, you want your number four to be striking around 200 because you're never going to have Sundar come in. Very rarely going to have him come in at 50 for three.
yeah. Ninad, just if you want to chip in for GT here, what do you think there are the buys they are looking at?
Um, Again, the top three is, I mean, it looks pretty strong as well as the bottom five, but it's the middle order that's very dicey. Shah Rukh Khan had shown some promise in the earlier couple of seasons, but you never, you don't know how much he can deliver if the top order fails. That's what we saw last season that they may be overly reliant on the top three. Glenn Phillips is one talking point I feel in this squad. He's a phenomenal cricketer. His batting is pretty nice. I mean, and his fielding. I mean, you don't have to talk about it. It's I think it would I would put him at par with Jadeja in terms of how his fielding is concerned. But that middle four is actually a cause of concern for GT. Maybe they could look to get back David Miller. That may strengthen their middle order because I don't see Shah Rukh Khan and Rahul Tewatia both playing in this 11, or if they do, it looks like a very weak finishing. So they may have to look for some player who can give who they can assign finishing duties to, and that's the only void or the major void that is present in this team. Other than that, they've got all their bases covered. They've got three international level quicks in Rabada, Siraj, and Prasidh Krishna, and they've got really good backups as well in Arshad Khan and Ishan Sharma. They've got spin bowling backups in Jayant Yadav as well. So and Rashid Khan and R Sai Kishore have Rashid Khan. He's the best T20 spinner right now, maybe alongside Narayan. And Sai Kishore also, he's been doing consistently okay. So just probably look to replace some, get an international player. They've got four slots, so that would maybe help them shuffle around the batting order also probably in the middle. Sundar at four is, like you guys said, the strike rate is a concern, but again maybe he could give be given a floater role that if the top three get going, then you don't need a Sundar at 4. You can just have a player with better batting ability, someone like Glenn Phillips or maybe Shah Rukh Khan or Tewatia, depending on who plays, to just go and finish off the innings. Yeah, in case there is a collapse, then maybe Sundar can be handy with his technical ability. We've seen that he has good technical ability and temperament in the way he plays tests. So yeah, that looks like the structure for this GT lineup.
Yeah, the strategy that GT is using is that if you look at their bowling, so the plan is to restrict their opposition to 150 to 180. That is
Yeah.
the plan. You look at Rashid Khan, Sai Kishore, Kakishore Rabada, Siraj, and Prasidh Krishna. And if you see the amount that they've invested in those players, you're looking at half their price. Half their auction purse has been invested in those five bowlers. Now, if any of them has a bad day, if you're looking at any replacement, then you're going to struggle because your batting is not adapted to chase those big scores. Gill is striking at 150. Sai Sudarshan strikes at 150. Josh Butler can strike at 200, but his form is on the decline. And now, because he's been batting at 3 for GT, he's been batting at 3 for England, uh, for that matter. So you're putting immense pressure on someone like a Glenn Phillips. Now, Glenn Phillips hasn't played a lot of IPL. You should have back. I didn't get the thought process of trading out Shafin Rutherford. You back this guy for the entire season, and after he has played enough games, he did decently enough. You decided to kind of like trade him. I would have preferred if both of them were playing in this 11. So if you look at the side now, I'm looking at Washington Sundar, Shah Rukh Khan, Rahul Tewatia. You're playing with three impact players over there in your playing 11, and it worked last year because in the first season, what happens is that most of the teams they go for to they try to finalize their core, so they miss out on some players. But now teams in the second season, the teams get stronger. So if GT's players adapt themselves, like don't get me wrong, but Kale, Sai Sudarshan, and Josh Butler had an excellent season last year. It'll be very tough for them to replicate that same success. So is your middle order ready to kind of like adapt to that? And because they have used such their purse, half of the purse in retaining the bowlers, they don't have a purse to get new players in. So if in case Josh Butler is injured or out of form, who do you replace him with? You have to buy another keeper. You can't consider Josh Inglis because he's going to be there for 4 games. So who's the backup keeper to him? You go to Kushal Mendes, Quinton de Kock. Who's a keeper who can bat at number 3 for you? Now that's a concern. So Glenn Phillips is just coming back of injury. I don't know if he's doing well. Who's the backup finisher to him? So they have their concerns. The bowling looks good. The backups you have Ishan Sharma, you have Mohammad Rashid Khan. You're playing both of them last year. You have a off spin and Jayan the other as well. So from a bowling they look good, but batting because you just get how many 10 wickets in a game. So you need to ensure that your your bowlers will definitely set the game up for you, but you need a strong batting lineup to chase it. And one good ball is good enough to end your innings. So I'm not sure if they'll be able to make the playoffs. We can talk about their auction, but it's a lot on Shubman Gill because he'll be coming into the IPL after playing the World Cup. He's already facing the pressure, and he has to show that he's 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 a guy of character. So let's see. I'm excited about GT to see what they do with 12 crores because they've always proved people wrong. So yes.
Agreed. The top three won't replicate what they had last year. Almost 500 for each of them. In fact, more than 500 for each of them. These four will need some rejig, probably some better options in the market. And the team which Nihar Lakde was patiently waiting for. We have been online for 1 hour 58 minutes, and now Ninad gets to talk about his favorite team, Mumbai Indians. But unfortunately, I don't think there is much to talk about. 2.75 CR. What can they do in the auction? For sure they need a replacement for Trent Bolt, a backup for Trent Bolt, not a replacement. Who are you looking at? Spencer Johnson, Fazal Faruqi are the two left arm options, probably the cheapest, probably I feel. And I think an Indian batter, because I think the Indian batting, apart from this, looks a bit thin. Like if one of these gets injured or not out of form, because you keep backing them, but if one of these gets injured, I don't see apart from Robin Mins who can make the 11. So definitely, I think they need an Indian batter somewhere. Maybe Prithvi Shaw is not a bad shout here, but I don't think they will back him. Mahipal Lomro not a bad shout. Ninad, the stage is all yours.
I don't see, honestly, I don't think any of these names would be going to the MI squad, which you have written, because they would have been doing their homework all year, the scouts, and they'll probably unearth some random talent who we have never heard about. And yeah, they would just give him game time, and who knows, he may be the next star. That's what MI have been traditionally doing. So in terms of uh,
Yeah, Shabby
MI
sir
owners'
playing with
traveling cost
MI
would
owners
be more
traveling
than
cost
their
will be
first
more.
amount.
Agreed, completely
Yeah,
agreed.
definitely. So yeah, I don't think there's much to do for MI. Their scouts would have done all the work over the year. So I mean, in terms of replacements, also, even if one of any of these spaces, you see four names, but there are only three slots in Deepak Char, Shardul Thakur, Bumrah, and Bolt. So in case, let's say, Trent Bolt sits out, you can play both Deepak Char and Shardul Thakur. Not necessary to say play four overseas players as well. And yeah, the spin department also looks good now. You've got Mitchell Santner, you've got Allah Ghaznfar, who's come back into action. We saw him do really well in the ILT20 pick, double wicket maiden, and he's doing well. So you never know. Santner may get a few games. Ghaznfar may come in for a few games to have that mystery aspect. Matchups also would have a role into this. Mayank Markande, they've got him off again for a cheap price. So I think MI did really well with the trades. Rutherford, as we spoke, uh, I think he's going to be a really key player. They got him for a steal for 2 crores. Like, you've had traditionally MI and the Indies players, you've got Pollard. So you see, maybe Rutherford. It's too early to say, but yeah, he has the potential to replicate things that Pollard has done for this franchise over the years. He has that ability to score like a quick fire. Maybe out of you give him 4 overs in the death, and he'll maybe tonk around 50 runs in 24 balls if he gets. He has that kind of ability. So partnering with Hardik Pandya and Naman Dheer, I think alongside Delhi Capitals, I think MI have a potent lower order. Will Jacks again, maybe a horses for courses approach. You don't know if he's going to get much game time. If he plays, maybe Rickleton sits out, but then Will Jacks would have to open, and then you'll have to probably sacrifice one of your bowler to get in Robin Mins to keep the wickets. But think you've got enough all rounders. You've got five Pakka overs. I mean, 5 bowlers in Santner, your 8, 9, 10, 11, and your impact players. So I think it's okay if you slot in Will Jacks. I think he can also give you a couple of overs. And you've got Hardik Pandya as well at number 5, who can give you overs. So I think Hardik Pandya
Just
is.
to interrupt you, the biggest question of the night: who should MI purchase as a replacement for Arjun Tendulkar?
I don't think that's required now. To warm the benches, I think any replacement can be done to warm the benches. So I
Yeah, I
think
think they already have Ashwini Kumar Rana, who did well, pretty well last year. So yeah,
yeah, he may. Yeah, I think he would be in as an impact player. He has that pace, and it looks like MI is backing him over the chances that they've given him, and they handed the ball to him even in crunch situations. And yeah, that's what I think. I think Hardik Pandya is honestly a great blessing to this team because of the value that he gives even to this team, and even in the Indian team. You've got a proper all-rounder at number 5 who gives you 4 overs in the bank, who can bowl anywhere in the middle, in the power play, even at the death. So it's a pretty well-rounded team. So even in case any of the bowlers, you say Deepak Char, who may be prone to injuries, or Trent Bolt misses out, you have Hardik Pandya who can cover up in the power play.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'd like to just step in, and this is excellent what Mumbai Indians have done. If you see some of the retentions, I'm a little surprised. Like they retain Ala Gazanfar and they retained even Will Jacks,
Will
whom
Jacks. Yeah, I think
I thought one
yeah,
of them would definitely be released, and I never thought I would see them go into the auction with just 2.75 crores. So it just goes to show that they're backing this side, they're backing the squad, and my criticism last year was you have a very solid top six there. You have Rohit Sharma, Ryan Rickelton, Surya Kumar, Tilak, Hardik, and Namandir. I would not like them to have someone come in between. I don't want to have someone like Will Jacks batting at number three. Namandir, in Sky's absence in 2024, was batting at number three. He's shown the kind of game power hitting that he has. So if you need, you could push him to number three. But if not, I feel that three and four is Sky and Tilak. Now, Rohit Sharma's form looks good. Ryan Rickelton suddenly has fallen off the cliff. So you need a backup keeper to him. There's only Robin Mins in that squad. So
Yeah, yeah,
so I'm a little surprised they chose to retain Will Jacks when they could have used that money to buy another keeper. You saw what
correct.
Johnny Bairstow did. I think Johnny Bairstow would have entered into the auction with 2 crores as his base price. Now, now Mumbai cannot get him. They'll have to try to go for Quinton de Kock, but they need a keeper.
The
So this
problem
is
is, unfortunately, they just have one overseas slot. So if they go for a pacer, then they can't get an overseas keeper. So that's the
no, they
problem.
they're definitely going for an overseas keeper as a backup to Ryan Rickelton. I'm sure they're going to back him for all 14 games, but they have to because you look at that bowling. Why do they need an overseas pacer? You have uh, you have Trent Bolt and Deepak Chahar bowling in the power play. If in case Trent Bolt is injured, whichever pacer comes in is not going to give you the equivalent of Trent Bolt. You're good enough to use Hardik Pandya in the power play, or you can bring in Bumrah at the power play. If I'm not wrong, I think Bumrah was bowling the power play overs last year under
Yeah,
Hardik's captaincy. So and whenever Deepak Chahar bowled with the second over, he was not as effective as compared to when he bowled the first over. So, and you have brought in Shardul Thakur as a backup to Deepak Chahar. So if you see, they have a replacement for all the players. The only replacements they don't have is for the opening spots. So that gives you the understanding. Even if Rohit Sharma goes and or Ryan Rickerton scores ducks in their games, they're still going to back them because you don't have any backup players there. There are no backup players for any of the Indian players. If one of like Shubha mentioned, if Sky Tilak or Namandir gets injured, they'll have to get in Robin Mins for that. So there's not much.
I think I would disagree slightly over here that there's no backup as such because the you see the batting order. It's stacked till number seven. So even if there would be someone who's injured or who misses out at the start, you can just push everyone one slot up, and that would still be good enough. Because if you look at the team sheet as it is, you see Namandir at number six. Now Namandir at number six is obviously wasted potential. But in case someone like Rohit doesn't have to play or doesn't get to play all the games or something like that, then you can always open with Namandir as well. I think Namandir had opened in a few games. So it's the way the batting is structured or the way the squad is built. You've got players who can really you can shuffle them up the order as well. You can
I-
send Namandir
Yeah,
up.
if they
You
do
can
that, it'll
swap
be great. But I've never seen Mumbai do that. Yeah, if they do that, it'll be great. But they like I remember the past also. They could have pushed the batting lineup up, but they chose to go with Namandir. At that time, he wasn't that accomplished. But they
Yeah,
still because they had a void at number three, they brought in a player from outside and had him play at number three because they didn't want to switch, shuffle the lineup. So like it depends. Like I would like them if in case someone is missing, you push everyone up the order. You have Corbin Bosch who's not going to make the side. He's really good to
yeah.
enough to get into the side. I'm not sure whether that impact player will it be Ashwini Kumar and Mayank Markande. No, I feel they're going to go with who do you have? You have Bumrah, you have Bolt, you have Deepak Char 1 to 3, you have Mitchell Santner as 4, you have Hardik as 5, and I wish they could go with this 5 and go back another batter there because there is a lot of explosiveness over there in that side. So I'm excited to see. My only concern is Sky has fallen, his form is a concern. So there shouldn't be too much pressure on, the MI buddies in Hardik and Tilak Verma. You know, it's for some reason whenever they bat together, there's always, it doesn't go out well. But there's enough time. 14 games is good enough to patch a good relationship there. But they've done well, but there's not enough force to get backup players. So let's
yeah,
see. And I'm looking forward to what is going to be the headlines. Are they going to come up with someone like a Bevan Jacobs type thing? Or is there a Napoleon Einstein somewhere in this auction that they surprise us and everyone the news and the paparazzi is like, hey, who's this player whom they are going to scout? So yes, but
yeah.
yeah,
Let's
they
see.
look good to make the finals. They look really good to make the finals, and I'll be disappointed if they don't make the finals.
Yeah. Interesting points of thoughts there for Mumbai Indians. They need backups, but they don't have enough money. Three people have joined us on the stream. If anybody has any questions before we end this stream, we're coming to the end. It's been a long, long, long stream, 2 hours, 9 minutes. But before we end, we have to get in the predictions. Nina, top three buys of IPL auction 2026.
I think it's a little straightforward looking at the way auction dynamics are going to be. You've got
Yeah,
Cam Green, who's
Cam Green
going
at
to be the
number
most
one.
expensive. Yeah, Cam Green at number one. Conway, I don't think he'll be getting much bids. The same goes with McGurk. I think Miller might attract a lot of good bids. Um, but I would put Venkatesh Iyer and Liam Livingston at two and three
Interesting.
respectively.
So Cam Green, Venkatesh Iyer, Liam Livingston for Ninad. Kevin, who are your top three?
Uh, Green, Green for sure. Green, Bishnoi, and I'm thinking Pathirana or Venkatesh.
Yeah, so I'll go with Green. I think Venkatesh, and then probably Bishnoi, and then obviously 4 and 5 are Patirana and Liam Livingston. Those definitely will be in the top five. Just one last question before we end. Cameron Green's price, Ninad. Is he going upwards of 30 crore? Is he breaking Rishabh Pant's record? Having said that, he gets only 18 crore because that's the rule set up by BCCI now that you get the amount the highest paid to an retained player. So Indian retained player. So 18 crore is what he will get. But the bidding can go as high as you want. Ninad, is he crossing
Yeah.
30 crore?
No, I would keep him at around 23, 24, I think, tops. Because you see the teams that are going to bid for him, which would be KKR at first
And
and maybe a
yeah,
CSK.
yeah.
And KKR have quite a lot of spots to fill, so they would definitely keep that in mind, and they don't wouldn't want to go anything over 25 in the first set itself when you have an entire, I mean, half of your playing 11 to be built. So yeah,
Kevin, 24.75 they paid for Stark. Are they paying more
20,
than that?
28 plus for sure. I think they'll stop at 30, but definitely they're because if they don't get Green, who they're getting next?
Yeah,
He, he,
I
he,
agree with Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah. So
28.
I'm
28,
my
yeah.
thought process is I'm thinking Green. I'll have to say Venkateshwar because of the I feel that there'll be a battle between CSK and KKR, and my my sources is Mr. Kulkarni and the information he gave me inside. So I'm presuming and assuming that Venkatesh is on the target of CSK. He definitely becomes the second most sought after player, and then third has to be I feel Bishnoi might go
Bishnoi,
as the
yeah,
third.
Bishnoi maybe, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
Patiran, I wish I could say that, but I don't know now. Whenever CSK leaves a player, I have this track record. Whenever they have let go of a player, the player has not gone on to do well, especially an
Yeah.
Indian player. You see Kedar Jadhav, you see Murli Vijay. I can't think of anyone else, but I had a list somewhere. I'll get that out. But yeah, so
We
these
can
three are
add
my
Deepak
players.
Chair to the list probably. Deepak Chair.
Yeah, okay, we could add Deepak Chahar, we could add Shardul Thakur there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for today. Before we end the stream, I'm getting the news. Whatever amount is left in the auction will be divided amongst all three of us. So hopefully the teams don't spend a lot of money. So whatever is left, we can get some of it.
Yeah, we need a new sponsor.
Yes.
We need a new sponsor.
But
Yeah.
16th of December, 2:30 p.m. IST is when the IPL auction starts. It's at Abu Dhabi, but it will be shown on the television on Hotstar, Geo Hotstar, whatever it is now. Ninad will be live watching it. Kevin and I will be live as well. I mean, we will have to wake up early morning, but we will try to get there. 2:30 p.m. IST, mini auction 2026. That's it today from Cricket Adda. Thank you very much.